Gusto has had our back since day one, making sure every hire, every paycheck, and every player is taken care of. They're the team behind our team. With Gusto, we stay rooted and give Oakland the love it deserves. I'm Idris Argandawal, co-founder of Oakland Roots and Gusto customer since 2018.
See why 500,000 businesses trust Gusto for payroll, HR, and more. Get started for free at gusto.com/roots.
ESPN New York is your home for the world champion New York Knicks. WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. Don.
Cool, man.
Hahn.
Don holding his hammer.
And Rosenberg.
Repug Don doesn't hold a candle to that pumpkin pie haircut of a freak.
This isn't North Dakota. This is New York.
This is Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
The best threesome I've ever heard.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
301 of the big city. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg till 6:30. Then it's Mets-Cubs at Citi Field.
That used to be a thing.
As there was a stir in the room.
Well,
after all we've been through,
Mets-Cubs?
Mets-Yankees didn't give us much over the weekend. Father's Day was, from a sports perspective, not much. But from an actual day, had a tremendous time. All three of us are fathers now, so we all hopefully had a great day. Hopefully all the fathers out there did as well. Mm-hmm. We get our one day, and then it's just back to normal.
That's it.
Listen, the day had ups. The day had downs.
Really? There were downs?
We have a lot of work to do at our Long Island situation.
Gotcha.
Because when we moved recently, remember I moved back to my old house, we dumped everything. You ever done that move where you go, I got to do something with this stuff, and you just dump it in one place?
Oh, it's
so now in order for us to enjoy the place this summer, we now have to face the fact that we dumped basically an apartment and a half worth of stuff into a house that was already full of stuff.
Now you got to go through it.
So yesterday, even though it was Father's Day, and I would have liked to have done nothing, some work had to be done. But the day ended with Natalie serving me calm down, Alan.
Could have left it right there.
With Natalie serving me.
Could have left it right there.
The most delicious double cheeseburger like you dream about.
Wow.
A double smash burger with jalapeno, lettuce, pickles, ketchup, homemade fries, and then made me some delightful, very feminine beverage. It was like guava nectar, seltzer, and rum. And she even skewered some pieces of fig and gave me like a little decorative drink.
Okay.
I drank it. I ate my double cheeseburger like a gentleman, and I felt like a man. I felt like a king as I ate that burger. And that was the highlight. That was the high. The low was carrying crap and doing all the things that we do every day. But you know what? I like dadding. Although I will say, on Father's Day, the first time that I did not get to Maya in time, and she fell headfirst off the bed.
Oh. Well,
on Father's Day.
Not a rite of passage. Not on Father's Day. But
I wouldn't have liked that. I always think of you, and I thought it could have been worse. We have a very low bed. I believe when Marco fell off, it was like off a changing table, right? Or was
no, he fell off the bed.
It was bed.
But it's
your bed's a sizable.
Yeah.
Ours is
like quite the fall.
Ours is very low.
Listen.
But she tumbled. She did when I got to her, I was still half asleep, and I was like, oh! And as I got to her, and I looked over the edge of the bed, she was laying completely flat. She did a full tumble.
Okay.
Screaming?
So she made it. Like a quick.
Little bit?
A quick.
So then you're good.
That was it.
Here's the thing. What you don't want is for things like that to happen when they're old enough to remember it, and then every Father's Day, you remember that time when you let me fall? Trust me.
On Father's Day.
That's the thing. That's when you know you're in trouble. Like 4 years old, forget it. They'll talk about that for the rest of their lives.
Oh, no, she didn't remember this 10 minutes later.
Please. This is nothing.
No, she got a treat.
Don't even worry about it.
All right, good.
No,
don't even worry about it.
I've told twice Marco fell. Jalen never did. The first time. He was barely maybe a month or two old.
Oh, my God. That's scary.
And they always tell you not to do it, but it's still the greatest feeling in the world where he's laying on my chest in bed, and I'm out, and then I'm out, and all of a sudden I feel he just slips and falls.
Yeah,
and you don't know where you are, and he starts crying, but everything's fine. The eyes are not dilated. Another one was like maybe a month later.
Oh God!
I'm leaving the bed. He's on the bed,
and all of a sudden streak for Don in this moment.
He's at the edge of the bed, and he's smiling. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. Do I run and startle him, and he makes a move and falls, or do I slowly creep? And before I made my decision, I just say whoop, and again cried for a second. But it's a rugged floor. It's okay. But still, at the time, I was a little nervous. You're like, what kind of father am I that I'm letting my child fall? Yeah. Now, certain things happen now at 8.5. I said maybe it was because of the fall.
Right.
I doubt it.
But it's probably
never been diagnosed with anything specific.
Toughen him up. Yeah. Toughen him up.
Yeah, no. This is the one at the top of the stairs. Hey, look, Dad. And all of a sudden, I'm catching a 3-year-old because he wants to jump off the stairs.
Well, my Father's Day was all about two things. One, getting sober, which my kids were like laughing at me for the last couple of days because they just were enjoying the fact that Dad was just all in.
You were on one.
All in.
From Friday and Saturday.
From Thursday.
From Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
You were on one.
Just stayed on it.
Wow, God bless.
Just decided, like, I'm on this wave. I'm not getting off.
You're saying you're seeing the players. They're having a good time.
I was like, I want to do that.
Why didn't you go on IG Live like Mikal Bridges?
I thought about it. They took the phone from me at one point.
Yeah.
But then, of course, Sunday was Father's Day, and also, as you guys know, this is the week. Rings End. Doors coming Thursday.
And you got a draft to prepare for it, too.
Michael's coming Wednesday, and he's already going to. So we had to empty the room.
Oh, so you had work to do.
And it's not a small room.
Right.
So Stephanie's like, well, you're leaving because I'm in Brooklyn now for the next couple of days for the NBA draft. And so this was the only day to do it. So it's like Father's Day, but we got to work. So I had to work.
Did you have like a dinner, though? Did you do some sort of celebration at some point?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Zach made delicious burgers.
Which kids were around?
All of them.
All of them? Everyone
I had the whole – this is the best joy. Didn't get a gift. Didn't want one because I just wanted everybody home. And everybody was there. Even Emma.
Wow.
Emma stayed instead of going back to her apartment. She stayed
over?
In the house.
That's good.
Where does she stay when she stays over?
Does
she still have a room?
No. Gracie's room or
couch or
the
something?
Couch.
Yeah.
And sometimes prefers the couch because the dogs like cuddle up with her and she loves that.
Got it. But you had everybody in the house.
Everybody.
Oh, that's the dream. You're living the dream.
Are you kidding me? Like I sat Saturday night, sat there, and all you need, because it's with Zach's girlfriend, with Elena, it's like 4 girls. And then it's me and Zach. And I'm like, bud, we need 2 things. A little alcohol and some music. And this is going to happen. Next thing you know what happens.
Party?
They sing, they dance. You just sit back and let it go. And it's so much fun.
Wow.
We had a blast just playing different songs. Old music, new music,
awesome.
doesn't matter.
Look at the
Out
vibe.
till midnight. Stephanie, after a while, was like, the neighbors are going to get upset. I'm like, they don't care. Like,
wait, come on. You were partying
Saturday.
like that? The whole the Hahn?
So much fun.
The Hahn clan was,
Bacchanal.
We had a great time.
a real Hahn and all.
A Hahn and all. Yeah. How about that?
God
That was my happy place. I had so much joy. I didn't want it to end. And then Sunday morning, woke up, had to work off the little bit of a headache, and then got to work.
You got to take the Advil and drink the water before bed.
Sunglasses, not
You got to stay hydrated.
No, just hydrated.
And
So
I did my tradition. I think it's 4 years now. Father's Day at Wild West City. I sent you the pictures.
A tradition unlike any
Pictures are no different than they've been. The kids grow.
No,
but the big feature was Abraham Lincoln was there yesterday.
Oh, that's
I
a
thought
big
it was
one.
Dan Orlovsky.
By the way, you gave Orlovsky a couple inches. He's a tall guy, but that Lincoln was huge.
Was he?
Yeah,
well,
that Lincoln
that's the
Orlovsky's not
prerequisite, right?
No, he looked very
If
Abe.
you're under 6'3", don't even bother.
I-
Of the 3 of us, only Alan could audition.
He
for
looked
Abe.
Yeah.
very Abe. You
No,
said.
Allen could pull off Abe.
Yeah, he could definitely pull
Because
off
wasn't Abe 6'5"?
I don't.
6'7"?
I could look it up. I don't know. But it's always fun. It was a beautiful
And by
day.
the way, Marco is so committed to this glasses.
You know what,
It's
though? I
his
love
look.
it.
No, he's got these. So Marco wears these like reflective, multicolored.
Goggins.
Yeah, they look like glasses a ball player would be wearing,
Yeah.
or that's all I can really picture. It's like a ball
Yeah,
player's
because
glasses.
he is.
because
He's a
thinks-
ball player.
Yeah, he's definitely a ball player.
So
Oh,
is
yeah.
that part of why he loves them?
Yes.
It's almost like his I'm a ball player all the time.
Yes,
He
he's a
has
ball
them
player
on.
all the time.
It makes people look at him and go, oh, you must play ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is.
So they're all there at Wild West City. He's just sitting there looking like he's about to take BP.
Yeah, they're always ready. If a game had broken out of like some old-timey baseball,
Got
where,
my mitt.
where
Ready.
the
So
rules were
good.
different, he would have just jumped
Keep
right
batting
into
gloves in
it.
his back pocket just in case.
Now, do they still enjoy Wild West City?
Yeah, and Declan is going to be 11 in August. My nephew,
so he
still loves it. So that gives me kind of a guy that I might have 2 or 3 more years of this guy. I love it. It's nostalgic for me.
But what does everyone do at Wild West City? Pretend you've never been there, and you have no idea what the hell it is. What exactly are you doing there?
Well, they got different bits. They've got the shootout at the OK Corral. First thing you do is you go to the general store and pay about $200 worth of guns and the caps and the hats and now that new thing, a harmonica, which I had to hear all the way home.
Harmonica?
Harmonica.
Oh, harmonica.
Harmonica. I'm confused.
See, when
I'm
he said
saying
harmonica,
it the way Jalen's been saying it,
Gotcha.
and now I all of a sudden forgot how to pronounce it.
Because when he said it, I was thinking, is this some kind of twist on a harmonica? I don't know about?
Harmonica.
And
It's her Monica.
His and hers.
It's not his Monica.
No, so and then you go out and they're shooting at each other, and then they form a posse and they get the criminals, and they have a shootout there, and you go on a stagecoach, and then that gets robbed.
Does it?
You go on the train, and that gets
It's
robbed.
very Clark Griswold.
I was about to say, does it give any of the vibes of when Clark Griswold takes the family? He goes, "See that, Clark? Good work. She's deaf." Hey, you underpants.
No, but
honey, they love this stuff.
It opened in 1957. I went when I was a kid, so it's nostalgic, and they love it. And it
That's
opens
so
at
great.
11,
Awesome.
and it closes at 5, and we're there, and it's
That's
good
great.
day. It's a lot of fun. But we've got a big show, only until 6:30 because we got the Mets. We'll recap the weekend that was for the Mets and the Yankees. Not great because now with the Knicks being done, our only thing really in progress right now until camps open in the NFL is baseball, and the Yankees are still in first.
Did the U.S. just win their pool?
That they, sir, are leading the pack. They have advanced. It's official. They will play around to 32.
Mm-hmm.
They have not been losing for one
Right,
moment
they
in
haven't
this
given up a
tournament.
goal. But I think we'll get there.
No, didn't we give one up? Wasn't the first one 4-1?
Was
Yes.
it 4-1?
It was
I remember
4-1.
it was 3-0.
Yeah, it was 4-1.
So they've been great. We'll see how deep we can go into this thing. They've still got one more game against Turkey, which is meaningless. They might actually rest a lot of players because
A lot of people struggling with the spelling of Turkey.
By the way, why are they calling it Turkey?
A lot of people struggling with the spelling. I didn't know.
The announcer kept saying it like in that way too.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, the announcer was literally saying it like Turkey or something like that, not Turkey. I'm not joking.
I missed that.
I had the game on watching because now you know why? Kid from Long Island's on the team. Now I'm all in.
He's on the Turkish team?
All in. No, U.S. team.
On the U.S. team. Got it. God bless.
So I'm all in now.
But there'll be a place for it. But I'm just saying a lot
In
of people
terms of the local sports.
is that even when the World Cup is over, we're going to have baseball. And right now the Mets are, I've been saying they've been cooked forever. We're approaching the midway point. They're still a very average team that is under 500 because of their bad start. Yankees need a catcher, although I'm hearing that they're going to get more starting pitching.
No, they're not.
I don't understand that.
Don't listen to any of that.
But there's still, and also I want to mention this. We found out before we went on the air that Linda Cohn, who's been with ESPN since 1992, announced her retirement. It's going to be effective at the end of the month, and she is going to join us at 5:30. You cannot work at this company without having her affected you in some way, shape, or form because she was one of those rare people, and I say rare, like Mike Greenberg, that cared about what's happening in New York because she's a New Yorker.
Yep.
And she came out to the Sasso softball, and when the Rangers were making their runs, she was at all the games, and there were times when I called game. This was like so surreal for me. There were times I did play-by-play, and Linda did the pre and post. She loved the Rangers so much that she would volunteer if we needed somebody to do the pre and post on radio.
I remember
This is a television legend, Peter.
I'm aware.
That would do
Very
Rangers
aware.
pre and post.
You know,
and I'm calling the game. I'm like, this is not right.
I understand this though because I have said this about the Islanders. I was like, if this is the thing, if you ever needed someone, I'll do it. I'm dead serious. Like I understand her passion for it. I think it's awesome.
Because that's all it was.
But
it wasn't for the money.
But Don, think about it again. Like she loves it so much that it's like I just want to do that for fun.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's all it is.
It was really cool. It was when they went to the finals in 2014 and when they went to the conference final, won the President's Trophy in 2015. She just wanted to be close to the team. She was still living here in New York before she moved out to Los Angeles, and she loves hockey so much that even out on the West Coast, she was doing stuff for the Seattle Kraken.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she really just loves hockey, and she's going to join us coming up at 5:30. We've got our weekend update or weekend recap that's going to be coming up at 4:30, although we did a lot of it in the open. But this Giannis thing has got me thinking that there's still Knicks in the air, because now that we move on from the championship celebration, the question becomes, can they repeat? or is this just going to be a one-and-done situation? Then obviously you take a look at how Boston's got a chance to retool. Indiana's getting Halliburton back. You've got teams like Detroit that certainly proved a lot in the regular season how good they can be. So there's pitfalls right now that exist. But now the talk, Shams reported that he could be dealt Giannis before the draft, which is tomorrow. That's why we don't have Allen on Wednesday and Thursday, because of his coverage of the draft. And you're hearing the Heat. You're hearing the Celtics, this mystery team. But him being dealt away from Milwaukee to another team in the East, guys, could certainly affect their chances of repeating. But you're a little dubious on this.
I'm very dubious on this. And by the way, the whole Knick thing, it's actually the Knicks story continues now, because today's a very important day for the Knicks, because it's when Jose Alvarado can now pick up his player option for next year. That's not nothing, because if he doesn't, goes into free agency, it adds to a very busy offseason that they got to figure out how they're going to make all this money work. So haven't heard yet about Alvarado picking up the player option for next season, or would the Knicks try to do something, extend him, but they love him. So there's that. And then there's, of course, June 30th, which is they can still extend Mitchell Robinson to avoid having him go into free agency. So there's time also for that. So there's a lot of things to watch here on the Knicks front. But this story is also something to watch because, as we know, Giannis wanted to play for the Knicks. The Knicks passed last year, and that was a bit of a gamble. And then it ended up paying off because they won a championship, which I still can't believe I'm saying so casually like I just did, but I'll say it one more time. So the Knicks won a championship, and so therefore their gamble paid off. But now Giannis knows, okay, they're not breaking that team up. I'm not going there. That dream's over.
Right.
So he still wants to move on. The Bucks don't want to trade him. I'm going to keep saying it. The new owner that came in, the Browns owner, is it Haslam? Right?
I think you're right.
Yeah. He's the one that's wants something done here. He wants a resolution with this situation one way or another. And they looked at the draft as the deadline because this is how you can get draft picks, and this is a very good draft. So that's why this is sense of a deadline right now. But you're also not making a bad move if you're the Bucks. You can't do that. They don't love Miami's offers. Miami's been trying to get Giannis, guys, since the trade deadline. And they just keep talking, and there's really nothing the Bucks like. You probably are going to need a couple of teams to help out to make a deal happen. With that in mind, the Boston side of this, Brad Stevens, it just doesn't feel like his kind of move to blow up a team like that and change the way you play. Trust me, you're going to have to change the way you play if you move and you bring in Giannis Antetokounmpo, especially if you're moving on from Jaylen Brown. You're a different team now. I don't know if you're a better team either, to be honest with you. I can't say they are because I'd have to see what else you're putting around him.
Right.
And now what's at the guard position, which is, we know, a critical position. So I feel like as much as there's momentum or a sense of something's coming soon, I know the wording that Shams said is engaged in serious talks and that Boston and Miami are the two main teams. But I'll tell you what, not saying that it's not happening, but I'm saying that I'm not on the edge of my seat thinking this is going down any moment. I think tomorrow, because it's draft day, there's a sense of urgency with the picks you could get. And that, to me, is still going to be the swing. Who's willing to take the swing? But I don't know if Miami has the Bucks that interested in anything they have to offer. Jaylen Brown certainly is something you'd be interested in. But it just, for me, Brad Stevens, that just doesn't seem like a type of move that he would make. I'd be very surprised. Others I've talked to are also saying the same thing. But it doesn't mean it isn't happening, because with the Knicks winning a title, the Celtics, as you know, up in Boston, that's not sitting well up there.
No.
So they know they've got to do something.
I just don't understand. They've won a championship with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Yeah, and they got to a finals with them too.
And yet every year the conversation has been publicly, what are they going to do? What more do you need to do? Did you see what they did last year without Tatum? Yeah, it didn't work out in the playoffs when you got there. Frankly,
Why didn't it work?
Because of the commitment to the
Coaching.
way you guys play.
And also, you had no big men. They were awful. You can't play that way.
Had no size whatsoever.
And Derek White didn't play well.
So Derek White missed every big shot. You're right. You have no size whatsoever.
And they who were
And that being said, you've won a title. Why are you? What's the desperation to break these guys up?
Peter, I'm telling you,
It's crazy.
I'm looking at it like I would try to find. Can I get Miles Turner? I just need a decent big man. Porzingis worked there. It's exactly how they want to play.
That's it.
Turner's the right kind of fit in that situation. You could do more doing less, if that makes sense, than a massive swing like this. Bringing in a 32-year-old who demands the ball, who's not a perimeter threat, and then Jason Tatum, like that's what you're going to build with. So now you have a 3 and a 4 instead of having a guard and a wing, right? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. And then what? Now you have to find a big man who stretches the floor, because if you have what you have right now, that's not going to work. Neemias Queta, how's that working?
That's Neemias Queta to you and me.
But he's not going to stretch the floor.
No.
So now you got Giannis who doesn't stretch the floor, and then Queta doesn't stretch. What are you doing? So that's why I don't know how this works. I'm skeptical, but I'm not saying it's not happening, because I do know up in Boston, this championship in New York did not sit well up there.
But if he doesn't go anywhere, what can Milwaukee do to make it work, and how much of a threat could they end up being?
What do you mean by Milwaukee?
If you're saying that Giannis is not going to get dealt,
I'm not saying he's not getting dealt. Like I said, I did the urgency of before the draft is coming from like Miami.
Mm-hmm.
They want him. They want to get him. They know he'll sign an extension. They're all in, because Miami also is realizing that they've been an also-ran now here for a couple of years, and they need to change up their whole what they're doing down there. You could see it. And so they also don't have enough to make a deal, because the Bucks would have already done a deal with Miami. They would have already done a deal with Miami if they liked anything that they were offering. So he's probably going to get moved. I still think the Bucks would rather keep him and say to him, we can offer you way more than everybody else, and we just have to keep finding ways to build a better team around you.
So that's my question is then, what can they do and how long will it take? Because I'm just trying to assess the landmines for the Knicks and their chances of repeating. So I think let's have that conversation.
Well, you're going to deal with a healthier – let's not forget about the Pacers. They're going to get healthy.
Well, they get Halliburton back,
Yeah, you're going to deal with that. They're going to be way better. You're going to deal with – I would have – Boston as is, just finding themselves a stretch 5 would have been a threat anyway. I mean, that was a 58-win team. They were going to be good. Like, they're going to be a threat. I don't know what the Sixers are. No idea. Orlando, Detroit, and Charlotte are all those young teams that want to keep punching up, and you just got to deal. So the threat to the Knicks was already there. But to me, I don't think this trade is going to create a juggernaut that no one can beat, okay? This is not about Giannis. This is just about what's left around a team that makes a trade for Giannis, because you got to give up a lot.
Now, Kofi, who's our
ace?
show statistician.
Our man, 50 grand.
He's our unofficial show statistician.
He tweeted out that Turkey officially changed its name to Turkey in 2022, and the UN officially recognized that new name. So it's correct to say that country
I wasn't
the way
hearing
it was said on
things.
television.
I wasn't that drunk.
Is that like the beginning of the Baby Boy by Beyonce when Sean Paul goes, a turkey? No, forget it. It's a terrible dad joke, and I'd like to resend it. Jacob, you got to at least make...
No, it's out there.
Thank you.
Too late.
He found it very funny.
He did laugh.
But
on some level,
there was a guilt laugh he had.
You think that was what?
He was trying to stuff it back down his throat, but he certainly laughed. So you got him.
I think he says a dutty.
It is a dutty.
He says a dutty. Yeah, talking about himself. But no, so that is funny. I heard people debating it. This just goes to show you, I love Ebro. He just makes things up. Because I was saying I've never seen this in my life.
What?
Today I said this.
Never seen what?
Turkey. Never seen in my life. I've never seen Turkey, and I thought maybe they became such big fans of Kanye in the modern era. They just added yay to the end. Like Turkey plus yay, Turkey yay. I was saying I've never seen it in my life. I was today years old. And Ebro's like, no, that's just how you write the name of the country. I'm like,
did you watch?
I don't think that's true.
Did you watch the U.S.-Australia game?
I did.
Because the referencing that I don't know, I'm forgetting the
that was the beginning of it. Yeah, they started.
He was talking about how whatever the game coming up, and he kept saying it that way. I'm going, Turkey? Like, why is he doing that? Is he trying to be like he's trying to say it in the native tongue or something like that? Like sometimes people do that.
So you're saying it always was turkey, and when it was turkey, it was spelled like the animal or the food, turkey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then as of 2022, they changed the name of the country to Turkey. The same way Czech can't even make up their mind.
Czech.
I mean, let's just
changing.
No, Czech. I got to be honest. You guys have a real brand problem. We grew up. It was Czechoslovakia.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you split up. Now it's Czech Republic.
Right.
They can't even stick with Czech Republic.
No.
Now it's Chechi.
Maybe they're not a
Chechi?
Isn't it Chechia?
Chechia. Now it's Chechia. So they've had 3 names during my lifetime.
They have.
Bit odd.
One thing they've always had, though?
What?
Beautiful women.
Models. That is true. A lot of Czech models.
And that's how it all
and
should
solid
be judged,
hockey.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, listen,
how's your
Jaromir
models?
Jagr.
How's your hockey?
Yeah.
Jaromir Jagr, models.
Call
let's
us whatever
go.
you want, but we can play hockey.
But Turkey, never, ever did I know that.
No.
This is why the World Cup is important.
So you can learn
because
these
you
things.
find out what other countries are doing, because most of the time you don't even give
you're really
a crap.
paying attention.
You're not paying attention at all. 1-800-919-3776. Want to hear from you. 1-800-919-3776. What are the realistic chances the Knicks can repeat? We've got baseball to do as well, but Anthony Pusick needs to tell you something.
Oh, thank you, Don. I want to talk to you, to Alan, to Peter, to all of New York, really. You need to hear this. This summer, all lines lead the Champs Sports Fan Central Station, a soccer pop-up shop open right in the heart of the city, 125 West 33rd Street. This is the soccer destination in New York. Jerseys for every national team you ride with. USA, get ready. They won the group. They're moving on. You could get that jersey. You could be ready for whoever they play in the round of 32. Mexico, Argentina. Messi just became the all-time goal leader in World Cup history today. Brazil, and way, way more, all under one roof. If you want to gear up, rep your country, and feel the energy of the city, Champs Sports Fan Central Station, 125 West 33rd Street. That is where you need to be. And for all you Knicks fans, they have championship gear to celebrate the team's first title in 53 years.
Outstanding stuff. More calls, 1-800-919-3776. Just getting started on a Monday. Don Hahn and Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back. This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, and I know how a serious accident can change your life just like that.
I'm Jenna D'Agostino, and I understand that with pain comes medical bills and time out of work. Let us get you justice.
This is John Ryan, the closer. For over 35 years, our family has been getting accident victims every dollar they deserve.
I started this firm for the injured so they can bite back against the insurance companies.
Our legacy is to get you justice. Bite back.
To get you paid, bite back.
At D'Agostino & Associates, bite back means fight back. When you're hurt and they blame you, we bite back and get you every dollar you deserve. We have offices throughout New York and New Jersey, so call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. 1-800-248-3222. I've been there, and I'll be there for you.
New York City, get ready as Fanatics Fest returns to the Javits Center July 16th through the 19th, right in the middle of the biggest sports weekend of the summer. With more than 500 athletes and celebrities, every major league, and hundreds of thousands of fans for the ultimate sports fan experience. Get your exclusive merch, rare trading cards, free photo ops, and a full tailgate zone all weekend long. Grab your tickets before they're gone at fanaticsfest.com.
First, I take a sabbatical, then do absolutely nothing.
Glorious. But what? You'd win the New York lottery, then do nothing?
Well, I'd also commission a cutting-edge mobile bed, so I never stop doing nothing, even when I leave my house.
Okay, but how can you do even less?
Well, I'll spend 6 months living with a Honduran Capuchin monkey troupe to learn how to pick things up with my feet, so I never have to lift a finger again.
Oh, you'll be a hit at dinner parties. New York Lottery. Can you imagine? Play today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
From your neighborhood stop to the city and back, New Jersey Transit keeps your day moving. Reliable, convenient, and ready when you are. We're on this ride together. So keep aisles clear, use headphones, and be mindful of fellow riders. Small actions make a big difference, especially during travel times. New Jersey Transit. Ride together, ride better. Plan your trip at njtransit.com.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
That's ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Hey there, guys. Good afternoon. It's a gridlock alert day. FIFA World Cup match tonight at New York, New Jersey Stadium. 42nd Street already shut down. Just buses and shuttles allowed from the east to west side. Penn Station, New York, you're going to need a World Cup ticket to use New Jersey Transit trains into Jersey. Route 3 westbound, already an issue heading into the Meadowlands. Broken down tractor-trailer by Park Avenue in Rutherford, blocking 2 lanes. He's been out there for a while. Jam there. Delays go back to the Turnpike Western Spur. Inbound George, roadwork picked up already on the upper deck, just about a 5-minute ride. Best of it to the outbound George. No big issues on the West Side Highway in Henry Hudson. Outbound Lincoln already about 5 to 10. Outbound Hone 15 to 20. This report is sponsored by RockAuto.com. A bent tire rod can quickly bring a drive to a halt. For the parts needed to get back on the road, visit RockAuto.com. Find a wide selection of quality parts at reliably low prices. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
In a contracting business, you're either growing or you're grinding. Success is no longer about hard work alone. It's about using AI to accelerate impact. Service Titan is the only integrated intelligence that seamlessly automates your entire workflow, from first call to final invoice. Born in the trades, built for visionaries ready to stop operating and start automating. Service Titan, AI for the trades.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. It's a fruity candy flavor explosion, and I mean explosion. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots, a zero-sugar treat that's sweet tooth approved. These can take care of my candy cravings and provides a tasty caffeine kick without all the sugar. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get candy-flavored chaos with Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots, available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon.
1-800-919-3776, of course, is the number to call with you till 6:30, and that it's Mets baseball. Want to get your thoughts on the chances of the Knicks repeating? What's going to happen with Giannis? Report is he's going to be traded by tomorrow to either Miami, Boston, or a mystery team. Allen's not quite sure how it's going to work for either Miami or Boston. Knicks have decisions to make as well. Second apron's been thrown out there a lot, and Allen's explained that as far as what the Knicks can do to make sure that they keep their free agent, try to keep this team intact, because that's part of it, right? Like, the East is going to be better. Halliburton's going to be back in Indiana. Boston will retool in some way.
Right.
I think Detroit can learn from what happened and be better. Where's Orlando? Are they going to grow and get better as a team? What will Miami do if they don't get Giannis? How are they going to pivot? Plus, the West isn't going away. San Antonio is going to be, I think, a
Denver,
year better with
Minnesota.
the experience.
Yep.
Yeah, the West is better anyway. So whoever comes out of the West is going to be daunting.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it sounds, can we just enjoy the championship? But this is kind of where we pivot. The parade happened on Thursday. You had another weekend to enjoy it. I'm sure for Father's Day, a lot of people got a lot of Knicks swag, I'm sure, for Father's Day. Mm-hmm. And now you enjoy the championship, but at the same time, you kind of keep it an eyeball on what's next.
Can I just say the one thing that did bother me, though? And I hope we can avoid this at least just for a couple more days. And I'm not trying to be some homer boy, but just as someone who's enjoyed this whole thing, I was moving around because I went to our wonderful Calandras event for the Team USA viewing on Friday. Had a great time. Shout out to Kristen Calandra and the whole squad. Had the calamari.
Like you dream
hung with the people. Shout out to Ethan Goldstein, all our other listeners who I met there. Met some great people. Really, really lovely. My business manager, Gina, was there. I mean, it's like you dream about.
Mm-hmm.
Robin Lundberg came by.
Really?
Wow.
When was the last time I saw him?
Strange Poll?
Yes.
No.
In the radio world and in the ESPN world.
In the ESPN, for ESPN.
Right? He was an important part of all of our lives for a while, and I can't remember the last time I saw him.
At an ESPN thing, I remember him, and we had a crossover here for like a year or two, that not much longer than that. So it might have been a Christmas party in like 16, like that he had any affiliation here. But he's, of course, doing a great job. He's at Sports Illustrated for a long time. Now, I told you guys, he's writing the book on Caitlin Clark. And his WNBA content has really taken off. He found his sweet spot covering the WNBA.
That's the last time I saw him.
What?
Was on TV at the airport. Because they would always have, because Sports Illustrated always had those like sports minutes or something. They would pop up on some random TVs like at Newark Airport, and I'm waiting for a flight, and I'd say, hey, it's Robin, I got to reach out.
So he lives, him and his beautiful family live right down the street from Calandras, so he just popped by, watched the game.
Oh, he's in Jersey now.
Yeah.
How about that?
Became a Jersey guy.
I got to get into the softball.
You were always a Robin guy, right? I think Robin's fond of Don. I think the Robin-Michael relationship, not strong. Not particularly strong.
Well, Robin had a lot of John Rothstein in him when it came to NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just remember being in the suite one time. The Knicks were playing the Rockets, and we had some sort of a function, and he was like 5 minutes deep into how the Rockets' salary cap worked, and I had to walk away. Like, there's times he pushed the relationship into a place that I just didn't feel comfortable. But overall, I like, and plus he has the same belief as I do about golf.
No use whatsoever.
We had the same bonding with that.
So anyways, me and Robin, Ballard was there. We're all hanging out. We're taking in Zach Linder, a great crew. We're all taking in the game. But on my way there, I was perusing what was going on in the world of sports talk, just 24 hours removed from the glorious parade. And when I was hearing people talk about like the apron, the second apron, and the money that's and then you start hearing, well, Shamet really wasn't, they can replace Shamet. I was just like, did these guys earn a full extra 24 hours past the parade?
Oh, no.
Where you don't have to talk about who's expendable on the team that brought. This is why, I just want to be clear to those people. This is why athletes hate us. This is why people think sports talk people are yo-yos. Not always just because they want us to be fanboys. Yes, that's the case. Sometimes they are okay with criticism. But when they accomplish the ultimate, the most unexpected and glorious championship that I can remember in maybe any major sport in a very long time. And within 24 hours on the local stations here, we're going, oh, well, you don't really need this one. We could live with that one. He wasn't great. We replace it. Give them 2 days. Let the city have 2 days.
But I'm going to fight you on this a little bit.
On this week, we can start. By Friday, sure.
I have made this prediction many times that the next New York championship, whatever it is, to end this 15-year drought, I said we won't be able to enjoy it because there's always the people that the minute it's over have to be the jump ahead of everyone and go, well, they're not going to repeat.
But I think both
and here's why they're not going to repeat. And it's like, can we have a freaking week? Just a week.
No, but it's okay to I can enjoy it, but blame the NBA. It's Monday that now you've got to make decisions about valuable players who, Alvarado was a guy that they were doing specials on the news about a local kid, and now a decision has to be made on his future with the Knicks.
It's his decision.
But he is going to he's going to make a decision, and it's on Monday. Not even 2 weeks after the championship. The draft is not even 2 weeks after the championship. I mean, business kind of gets back.
It's a good retort.
So you got to learn to do both.
But through Friday, Don, would have been fair. Through Friday would have been
I
fair.
get it.
One more day. No. Today's the day.
Today. He's talking about Friday.
I'm saying Friday. Today I'm fine.
The parade was yesterday.
Right.
We're only throwing dirt.
Reminisce on the parade.
Thank you,
so
Peter.
Monday, that's why I thought today was a fair time to have the conversation. It's been over a week. The parade was Thursday. It's time to get going. It's also time for Peter to tell us about FanDuel.
Well, you know what? I'm so glad you brought that up because we have 93,000 phone calls to get to, and yet here I am again because I had to tell you guys about that. But now I'll tell you about this. The world's biggest stage is bigger because now if your player gets subbed off, your bet does not go with them. That's right. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player's subbed out, your bet stays in. So even if the player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in the hunt till the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. 21 plus, physically present in New York. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. And right before I heard what I was just describing on the radio on Friday, you know what Michael Kay was doing?
What?
Here's a hint. Andrew Gunling's favorite and most predictable thing. This is what Michael was talking about on Friday. Stoppage time in soccer.
Oh, really?
Oh,
boy. He cannot. It's Don. It's every 4 years. Alan, he's obsessed. But you don't know how much time. Why don't you know the time? Every 4 years, like clockwork.
Yeah. I am, though, at a place, though, where we have seen sports make adjustments to modern day. But I think we have the capability of when a player goes down and is hurt
To
and
get
we
the
stop
exact
the
timing.
game,
Yeah.
we can stop the clock.
Soccer makes baseball look like a rave.
You know what I mean? He's not wrong.
Yeah, but at the same time, at this point, I would just say to Michael when he goes like, well, why do you do it this way? You know how many things, if you were try to explain to someone, why 4 balls, 3 strikes? Why? What's a balk? Why?
No,
why?
no.
No,
That's
there's a million
different.
whys.
That's different than, you know what? We can't keep the clock. We can't stop it.
But
it's like instead of stopping the clock, we're going to add time. But we don't know how many. We're just going to come up with an arbitrary number. But it's 6 minutes. 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
Arbitrary to you.
6 minutes.
But
it's arbitrary,
But
Peter.
the imperfection is part of the je ne sais quoi.
I guess, but it does lend to impropriety, which we've seen in soccer before. All right, because I've been told, and I'm not going to pretend I'm any kind of soccer expert, but I've been told, maybe it was Andrew who told me, that it is a set limit, like 6.5 minutes. That's how much time would have gone by had they stopped the clock. Why they can't stop the clock, I don't know.
It doesn't make sense.
But I've been told that because it's somewhat arbitrary, that if all of a sudden somebody's rushing on a breakaway and the 6:30 expire, the officials just might let him see him kick the ball to see what happens.
Yeah.
That's true.
But imagine that happening.
There's no
Game
hard out.
7, Stanley Cup Final.
Come on.
Buzzer goes off, but he's on a breakaway. Let's see if he'd score.
Yeah, no hard out.
And let's count the goal.
that is true. But that's why. But the point of fighting, and I can't believe now we're actually doing it. I was mocking Michael, and now you two are doing it. But no. But I would argue, and this is where it kind of ends, in my opinion. It doesn't make sense for other sports, but it is part of what soccer is. Same way the other day, they looked at an offsides replay. Offsides replays now in World Cup is so counter to the nature of soccer.
It's so true.
Like, it's a feel. It's like, no, that's not offside.
Yeah.
And then they replay, even with hockey, to a certain extent, offsides. It's like, you don't replay it. It's a feel. I could tell they were offside, but now they do.
But the fact that soccer has it is a big deal now.
Yeah.
Because you really are checking that. But you know what that does, though, when we're doing this? Adds more time.
Adds more time. So now stoppage time 9 minutes.
But we can't because we're watching this replay, so we can't stop the clock.
No,
because I can't do 2 things at once. I got to watch this replay. Let the clock run. Let it go.
You could set your watch to it.
Well,
Michael will complain about the clock.
But they wouldn't set
every
their watch.
World Cup.
Yeah. No, every
and then what does he do during the Olympics? What's his famous quote?
Something draped in the flag. Commercialism
draped in the flag. He always brings it.
All right. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's talk to the people. I'm sorry. We'll
do it.
Do it next.
Okay. We'll do it coming up next.
Damn it.
It got away from us. 1-800-919-3776. Don't forget, 5:30. Linda Cohn's going to join us. She announced her retirement. Her last sports center is going to be that Friday at the end of June. Her last day is June 30th. So she's got her final sports center coming up this Friday, correct? This Friday will be her last sports center. Her last day at ESPN will be the 30th. So her last sports center will be coming up this Friday. Don on Rosenberg taking up until 6:30. Then it's Mets Cubs on ESPN New York.
Partner with Amazon Hub Delivery to earn extra revenue for your business with your business. Assist with local Amazon deliveries and get paid for each package you deliver. When you become a partner, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area on a schedule that works for you. You'll gain extra revenue, increase exposure for your business, and connect with your neighbors. Plus, it's easy to get started with no delivery experience, long-term contracts, or startup costs required. If you're interested in learning more, visit Amazon.com/Hub Delivery. That's Amazon.com/HUB Delivery.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
I've waited a lifetime for this.
It's happening, Knicks fans. It's happening.
I'm now living the dream.
And a team that will live forever. Next stop, the Canyon of Heroes. The New York Knicks are NBA champions.
Champions.
DiPietro and Rothenberg. Morning 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Skechers elite athlete OG ANUNOBY has been making history on the basketball court.
ANUNOBY tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
This is the Michael K. Show.
All the genius that we thought that David Stearns was, right? Maybe, just maybe, it wasn't him with Milwaukee because they haven't skipped a beat without him. At some point, when does he get blamed? Because now I think there's going to be a lot of spotlight on the Mets and how bad they are because there's no Knicks to distract you. The Mets are a terribly put together team.
The Michael K. Show. Weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Empower. Pete's back on the links with all new golf clubs and hopefully less swearing.
Dang, sliced it.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money so he can be a little bad.
Heads up!
Oof. Talent sold separately.
Guy said these were slice proof.
At least he has money for lessons. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
This Father's Day, put the focus on Dad's happy place, his garage. Shop more ways to organize, more ways to build, and more ways to spend time together. With low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Get him a rolling toolbox or a wall-mounted organizer to keep it all in place. Or save on power tools like the Ryobi 2-tool driver drill combo kit for just $99. Make Father's Day about building something together with a little help from the Home Depot. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
Congratulations, New York. The Knicks did it. Through battle after battle, they dominated to become this year's NBA champions. Day in and day out, the hard work paid off, and you were there every step of the way. Enjoy the crown. Own it, because this year is your year. A part of your legacy that will never be forgotten. So celebrate this moment, show your pride, and shop the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
All right, we are going to get to the phones at 1-800-919-3776. Linda Cohn's going to join us coming up at 5:30. We got ENN at 6. But let's get to the busy phones and talk to Manny in Flushing. You get things started here on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. What do you got? Manny!
What a start. What a start.
Manny.
Yes. How you doing?
What's up? We almost lost you, buddy.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, man. Listen, look, I think I was right about the Celtics Giannis thing. I just don't think it is a guarantee that if you bring Giannis to the Celtics, they'll be an ace contender. You're probably right in the East because Detroit's going to get better. And they probably will get hero with the shooting. Tyrese Halliburton is going to be back with him, Siakam and Zubac at the Pacers. And don't look now, Charlotte, because if they would have won that game against the Magic, they probably would have in the playoffs instead of missing the playoffs. Well, you're right. I mean, I just don't see Boston like a real threat as much as you think they are. And also,
wait. Now, don't say they're not a real threat. Boston's going to always be a real threat, right? Like, let's not get crazy. But I don't know if trading Brown for Giannis, what do they got around him now? I don't know if that makes them like I said that doesn't turn them into like the next dynasty where all of a sudden like nobody's beating this team. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. It to me just doesn't feel like a Brad Stevens kind of move. It just doesn't to me.
Which part of it do you think is like un-Stevens like, Alan?
The big swing.
Just the big
for a player that doesn't really fit what they do, their style. Now, are they going to now make it about face and how they play? Maybe they
we don't jack anymore. Now we run up and down and try to dunk it.
Maybe this threes, living off the threes thing is not the right idea. Maybe we need to change up the way we play. If that's the case, I got to see it.
Let's go to David and Elizabeth. You're on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. David!
Go ahead.
One more time. Ready? David! All right. Jonathan in L.A., you're on ESPN New York.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's going on?
Guys, I can't even think about next season. I'm still pinching myself every morning when I wake up.
Get it?
Thinking it's all a dream.
Right?
So, by the way, real quick, I have a comment about the Turkey situation. But my wife actually, for Father's Day, she gave me the Knicks championship hat. It's back ordered all the way till August. So I don't even know when I'm going to get it. That's
probably
August. That's how excited we are.
It's unfortunate, the back order stuff. I got Natalie the finals shirt, and they had it, I believe, available in the city. If you had gotten to a store, you could have gotten that. She wanted the, Alan, you remember the one they were wearing night of, the rhinestone one?
Yeah.
She wanted it that night. Natalie loves rhinestones. She loves sparkles. She loves rhinestones. She was like, that's the one. Want it. Need it. Now. I go order it. I think it's like September. Like, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Same.
It's crazy.
They can't make them fast.
But I guess they couldn't make them because you don't know which team's going to win. But, like, you think right away you're just printing. Let's go.
And think about it. It already has set Fanatics' record.
Yeah, they've never done anything like this.
And it hasn't stopped.
Oh yeah, I went to the NBA store and it was sold out right away. So hey, but real quick on the Turkey situation. Mm-hmm. So Turkey has actually been the official name since the 1920s. It's just with the UN and stuff like that, they just like allowed them to be called Turkey, just like to make it easier for like the Anglo people, I guess. But their official name since 1920 has actually been Turkey. And like 3 years ago, they told the UN and they told like the entire world, they're like, hey, we want to be called by our official name.
All right, but so it is still
that and like Czechia.
But it is still only since 22 that they
actually changed the name.
Got it. So Czechia is a whole new name. I get it. Turkey is now what they were, but still only since 22 they said that's how we expect to be recognized.
We want to be recognized like this. Like, stop calling us Turkey.
Yeah.
Like, stop saying that. That's not how you say our country's name.
And in America, we're like, hey, listen, we already used the word Turkey for so many different things. We just want to keep going with Turkey.
Right.
Let's talk Turkey.
Because Turkey, there's hungry. You guys get along.
Right. Come on, make it work.
I mean, I see something and it's spelled the same, so I end up saying it the same. But I give them credit now when they're showing it. It's not spelled like Turkey.
Yeah.
But listen, it's an education, right?
That's right.
I mean, this happens all the time in hockey, where either the guy's name was said wrong so many times, and he gets called up. He says, call me whatever you want.
Right.
And then he starts get some game. And he's like, you know what? I want my name to be
pronounced. Who was the player that did that recently? Wasn't there it was either NFL or NHL player that recently happened?
Yeah, it happened.
It was Cofield get it.
Yeah, Cofield
said there was an athlete, it was either NFL or NHL, who said it's actually been pronounced wrong. This is how I want to pronounce it.
Yeah, you're right, and I can't think of exactly
and
who
we
it
were
was.
all like, oh, God.
Oh, yeah, but because what happens is, like it happened to me when Sekira was in Edmonton. He then wanted to change it to Sekira. So I start calling him Sekira, and other people didn't get the memo. They're like, you're saying his name wrong. I was like, no, I talked to him. He did change it.
What he said. It was Travis Etienne.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
because everything was Etienne. And he was just letting it go. And then he finally corrected everybody.
Yeah. This was last year we talked about this, right?
Yeah,
we just had this conversation.
Yeah, that's why it is very.
I mean, listen. Remember, guys, our team is basically like the Little Sisters of the Poor. Every team we're playing against, like half this tournament, the players in the country, they speak 3 different languages.
Mm-hmm.
They live here. They speak the main language of the country, then the language of the neighboring country, and then they all speak English because we're morons. It's basically across the entire world.
But did you see that, is it Mbappe? Who was it that they talked to about playing in the MLS one day?
Mm-hmm.
And he said he talked to either Messi or whoever it was. And he was like very interesting to him because he said it's more liberating to play here because you can do so many more things in this country.
No, because you're not going to be as recognized. And
Is that what he means? Is that what he means? You think from a sheer recognition standpoint?
I don't know.
Or pressure?
Now I have to look it up because I didn't think if you saw it or not.
It says Mbappe hinted a move to MLS later in his career might not be ruled out.
Because of the money.
He's 27. So when he's 47.
Okay, well,
he said the United States is a different culture from ours. I have always liked this culture where ambition has no limits, where people are not afraid to say what they can and what they want to do.
Ambition
doesn't
has no
work
limits.
everywhere.
Ambition has no limits in this country. What does that mean?
I mean,
why would he say that? Because
do athletes in Europe?
What limitations does he have being one of the greatest players in the world?
But do those athletes ever become as powerful as an A-Rod or a LeBron James?
Yes.
Or a
didn't he just move? Didn't he make a massive move
they
from
make
one
massive
club to
moves
another?
and they make massive money, but maybe like what you're afforded, the opportunities you're afforded in Hollywood, in creating other businesses, in ownership.
That's different.
Or flexibility. We're seeing it now with Brady Tkachuk. We'll get that a little bit later on. Players have the power,
by the way,
to maneuver out of teams, go different places. Maybe I'm sure that's very difficult to do over there.
This is a big couple of days here for the Tkachuk family.
Yeah.
See the news?
Keith's going to the Hall of Fame.
How about that? What a weekend!
So it's Pecorino.
Wait. So the Tkachuk
Pecorino, really?
Yeah.
Carey Price.
Yeah.
That's
a
not
few real deserving guys in there.
Yeah.
So Brady's going to play with his brother.
Exciting? It sounds kind of like a meh class to me so far. What you just mentioned.
Patrice Bergeron. Does that do anything for you?
Yeah, sure. I mean, all these are.
He won a cup.
Yeah, these are all good players. There's not the who are you putting on the poster and everyone's showing up.
Well, fair. Who's the headliner? You mean?
Yeah. These. None
well,
of
the
these
headliner
guys...
will be Keith for how long he waited to get in.
Okay.
Walt to you and me.
Carey Price, it's just I always feel like
it's not dead sexy, Carey Price. Not like you dream about.
No, because
deserving player though.
And the way that it wanted it.
He was very good, but fell off.
But we'll get into the Tkachuk thing just from the standpoint of when players get power. As much as we're trying with the possibility of a salary cap to save the smaller market teams, there's some. Let's face it. There's ugly and there's pretty and there's gorgeous. And that's kind of the way it works in professional sports and markets, right? There's some markets that are dead sexy and some markets are like, bring a coat. And when these players begin to get power, you just wonder if some of those markets are going to wither away because nobody is literally going to want to play there. 1-800-919-3776. 4:30 we'll have the weekend recap. We're going to talk to Linda Cohn coming up at 5:30. ENN at 6. We're out of Dodge at 6:30. At that time, we're going to have the Mets and the Cubs. Don Hahn and Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
Greatness isn't given, it's earned. On June 27th at Barclays Center, 2 undefeated stars step into the spotlight for boxing immortality. Jaron Boots Ennis versus Xander Zayas, battling for the unified WBO and WBA World Super Welterweight titles. Only one leaves with the crown. Witness the pursuit of greatness, live at Barclays Center, Brooklyn, June 27th. Final tickets are available now at Ticketmaster.com.
Hi, this is Don LaGreca. Just like the New Jersey Devils bring intensity on the ice, Viking Pest Control brings the same level of protection to your home. And I know because I use Viking at my own place. The season may be over, but pests are always in play. So it's time to lock in your off-season defense. As the pest control provider and proud partner of the Devils, Viking delivers 45 years of trusted experience to keep ants, cockroaches, stinging insects, rodents, mosquitoes, and more out of your zone. And when you bundle pest control mosquito services, you score big savings. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com, protecting your home inside and out.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
This Father's Day, put the focus on Dad's happy place, his garage. Shop more ways to organize, more ways to build, and more ways to spend time together. With low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Get him a rolling toolbox or a wall-mounted organizer to keep it all in place. Or save on power tools like the Ryobi 2-tool driver drill combo kit for just $99. Make Father's Day about building something together with a little help from the Home Depot. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
ESPN New York, now streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe today and watch the show. WHSQ and WCBS FM HD2, New York.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, guys.
Yeah, it's Charlie time. It's totally time.
Mets start a series with the Cubs. Coverage immediately following us on 880 at 630. And if you've watched the Mets lately, you better turn it on quick, because they'll be down like 3-0 before you even get going. The middle part and the end's not bad. Yeah. It's the beginning that's been killing them. The Yankees will visit the Tigers at 6:05. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. I'm probably missing a couple, but I just wanted to kind of go through, when talking about the Knicks' chances of repeating, how teams did the year after ending a jinx or a long drought of championships.
Okay.
Now, I figure we'll start locally, the Rangers. 54 years, right? Similar to the Knicks. A very average season. That was the 48-game lockout schedule that they had the year after. Remember, they had to wait a long time till January for them to raise the banner and all that. They beat the Quebec Nordiques in the first round, got swept by the Flyers in the second round. The biggest one, the Cubs, 108 years. They went 92-70 the next year in 2017, but they lost in the league championship series, so they did make it to the cusp of the World Series, lost to the Dodgers 4-1. The Red Sox, 1918, they finished in second in the East, actually tied with the Yankees, but the Yankees had the tiebreaker in 2005. They lost in the first round to the White Sox, got swept 3-0.
Is that first round means division round?
Well, there was
because there was no wild card. Wild card was just a
right. Well,
so they won They won a wild card bid.
They got a wild card and they got swept in that wild card. Remember, because the wild card team played a best of 5, just like the division winner did back then.
Wow.
Okay. But they were a wild card team, got swept by the White Sox. Speaking of the White Sox, they had gone a long time without a championship, 100 years, because theirs was 1917. So it wasn't 100 years, but it was close. They missed the playoffs. They finished with 90 wins, but they missed the playoffs. Other teams, the Chiefs, because they had never won. They won that Super Bowl 4. They didn't go back until 2019.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up losing in the Super Bowl the next year. The Cavs, after they had their long drought, not winning a championship, won with LeBron, lost in the final the next year. The Blackhawks, who went from 1961 to 2010 between their championships, lost in the first round. Saints, 43 years of existence, never won a Super Bowl, finally win their Super Bowl, lost in the first round the next year. To the Seahawks. And the reason I remember that one is because the Seahawks were a 7-9 team, but they won their division. So the Saints had to go to Seattle. They lost that game. That was that big beast mode, Marshawn Lynch, 70-yard touchdown run. Blues, they won their first championship in nearly 50 years, won their division, but they were bounced in the first round by the Canucks 4-2. The Bucks, 40 years between championships. When they won in 2021, they lost in the second round in 2022. Am I missing anybody with like any long droughts?
As you're doing,
what I was doing, if it went over 30 years, between championships.
Mm-hmm.
So my point is it's really hard to repeat. Now, all of these teams, with the exception of the White Sox, did make the playoffs the next year, which you expect the Knicks to do. But you do wonder, it's hard to repeat. The NBA's had 8 straight years of no repeats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
it's hard to do.
It's going to be hard to do.
They haven't even had a repeat within the 8 years. Like one team win it twice. Because again, you can
8 years, 8 different teams.
8 different teams.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible considering how dynasty laden it was before that run.
Right.
But right now we're in a transition, and I love where the NBA is right now, where it's not about a player.
Yes.
Curry versus LeBron, who's going to win the championship? Bird versus Magic, who's going to win the championship? It's about teams, because even though it's Brunson, I don't look at, maybe I'm wrong about this, because Brunson was such a major, integral part of it. He had to score those 45 points in that Game 5 because he might not have won the MVP. There were other candidates going into that game, right?
Well, I don't think into the last game. After 4, I think it was over.
Well, after
I think
4.
the only thing up in the air was if OG had a big Game 5. Maybe that
because if
swung
OG,
the pendulum.
If OG had scored 45 in Game 5 after the tip-in in Game 4,
right?
Maybe we're having
Brunson
a conversation.
already had 3 30-point games in the series.
There's two different things. It's Brunson's championship because he was the MVP. It's Messier's championship because he was the big kahuna who came in and slayed the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
But Leach won the Conn Smythe. There were other great players around him.
Right.
So I'm just saying that this is not a superstar. This is Brunson did great things.
No, you're right with what you're saying. This is, and I think that's what everybody's trying to watch here, is does the emphasis of team and the importance of team building to where you don't have the one dominant player, which, again, when you look at the 9 different championships, how many teams had the one dominant player, right? Like this is the reason why they won. Even the Thunder, they won. Yes, SGA was the MVP, but that was a good team. Like they had depth. They were really good. So I do think that this has been an era where, the idea of just, hey, throw 2 stars together and that'll be enough to win a title, that just doesn't work anymore. And in fact, the teams that tried it, look how much it failed miserably when they tried to pair stars up, making mega trades that gutted your depth. So if anything, and that's what I'd love to ask Adam Silver about when we talk to him tomorrow night, is this exactly what you were hoping for that the NBA would turn into? Where instead of it being ring chasing and stars pairing up and all that stuff, it has become the emphasis on building a team.
And that's what makes it fun, because then it's just about who. Now we know ahead of time who's going to win the championship. The great thing this year, is it going to be the Celtics? Is it going to be the Knicks?
Right.
Is it going to be the Pistons? They're going to come out of the East.
But with that in mind, Don, and that's why you're saying, can they repeat? Which is a fair question, and I don't think it's answerable. I really don't. Could they? Yes. Will they? It's impossible to answer. But here's the thing that I think you look at, is no matter what any other team does to react to the Knicks in the East, what does it do to your team? Because how did the Knicks win all these series?
Mm-hmm.
Because they had depth. They had a team. And that's also, to me, watching what the Knicks do. Can they do things to keep their most important pieces off that bench? The 5 aren't going anywhere. Starting 5 are locked in.
Right.
They're not going. They'll be back next year. Same starting 5 will be back. But the guys off the bench, McBride has 1 year left. They don't have to do anything right now. But we know that Mitchell Robinson could be a free agent. They can extend him before June 30th, and that's not a problem anymore. And then there's also Jose Alvarado and Landry Shamet. Shamet's going to be a free agent. You got to figure that out. Alvarado can pick up a player option, or you can extend him off the player option if you want. But those pieces, to me, those 4 guys, are the ones that you ask. If they can get those guys back, then you're running it back with the same roster that just won a title. How do they not come into the season as the favorite? No matter what you do, because anybody else that makes a massive trade, like a Giannis trade, you're blowing up your roster. You might not have the same depth.
Now, the other elephant in the room that people don't like to talk about is the hunger going to be the same? Are the bounces going to be the same? And one of the teams I left off my list of droughts and what they did the next year were the New York Giants, 30 years, 56 to 86. And I remember that championship. They missed the playoffs the next year. It was a strike year. It was a mess, but they were a mess. They got injuries. Ball didn't bounce the way that they needed to. just didn't catch the breaks. The other thing, everybody had a book. LT had a book. Leonard Marshall had a book. And they took the tour, and maybe you lacked the hunger. It'll be interesting to see how they handle the offseason. They did everything the right way leading into and during this upcoming season because they were hungry. They were disappointed what happened against the Pacers. They were on a mission. Can you duplicate that mission? Or is it just human nature to kind of, rest on your laurels a little bit, enjoy the moment a little bit, and then you come in focused? But is it fair to think that laser focus is going to be exactly the same way it was last year? And if it's just a tick off, is that just enough to come up short?
Well, I mean, Brunson and Hart and the Roommates guys had their show Friday night.
That's right.
At the Garden. It was on ESPN, too, and they're going to drop it on YouTube if you haven't seen it. And it was very interesting because it felt like the Petty Tour. Like they had Stephen A. on. They made him apologize.
Right.
They brought up, without mentioning names, Becky Hammon. They brought up the participation trophy thing. Like you could tell already they were building the chip back on the shoulder. Already. And that's why, I was watching, I was thinking, now I can't answer for everybody because you don't know how everyone's going to come back. But I do know that number 11 will come back with the exact same mindset.
Oh, without question.
Because of what everybody's saying.
Yeah.
This year was a fluke. You got to validate it by winning one more. This isn't going to happen. I swear to God, this guy is a psychotic, but he feeds off this stuff.
I agree.
And I think the more it's said, especially with the Knicks being, I think, 5th in the odds, all stuff like that. Oh, yeah. I think that stuff will just continue to fuel him.
I'm not worried about him.
Yeah, you don't worry about him. It's everybody else fault. It's
right.
Tough.
You're not wrong.
It's also hard because the level of this win. When was the last, and this is something to think about, when was the last championship in any city, in any of the 4 major sports, this big a deal nationally? Think about it.
I would say the Cubs. I think the Cubs won.
Maybe. And again, we're really close to it, so maybe I'm too close to it.
I don't know.
This feels bigger to me nationally.
Didn't the Cubs one feel like
it was big?
A
thing,
it's
108 year. It was such a thing.
Yes.
I mean, think about it. It's more than double the time the Knicks had the win.
And it was excruciating to the end for them. It had to be.
Now, but do you guys remember what the numbers were?
It's a good question.
Can't imagine they're close to what this did.
The TV ratings?
Yeah.
I mean, somebody look up 2016 Cubs at the time Indians, because that's a nice matchup too. And it went 7.
Well, and they were both fighting for their first.
Yeah.
That game 7.
What did game 7 do?
Drew an average of 40 million on Fox.
Wow.
Yeah.
40 million.
So we got our answer.
And I don't know. Watched baseball game in 25 years. It remains it.
Yeah, that's big.
I was on a plane. I remember where I was.
Watch how the numbers went up though. Game 1, 19. Game 2, 17. Game 3, 19. Game 4, 16. Then it got real. Game 5, 23.6. Game 6, 23.4. Game 7, 40.
That's
people. So it drew everybody in eventually.
By the way, how are there 17 million people who thought, I'm not interested? All right, now I'm interested.
Well, because I think
it's just crazy.
Because first of all,
I know, but it's still crazy. Like if you haven't been in for the first 6, you're really running. I feel like it was a what night of the week was that game? I feel like it was a Thursday night, and then people ran to their TVs.
Well, because it's Game 7. One team's trying to end a drought of 08.
Yeah.
1908.
Right. The other one, 1948.
08.
I mean, these are two teams that get smacked around for years.
Listen, it was a where were you
If this
moment.
had gone 7, I think the number would have been probably 30 for Knicks and Spurs. If it had gone to a Game 7, a compelling series. I think that
maybe more because it was already at 25. But okay, so my point is, though, if the only other thing you can really come up with in the last 20 years is a battle between 2 epic baseball franchises, neither of which had won in 50 or 100 years, it's such a huge thing. It will test this team's ability to just put it all behind them and dial in and do it again. Mm-hmm. You could very easily have the party of a lifetime, and this thing never gets back on the rails in the same way. That's like the worst case scenario to a team that's not focused that could happen.
And we all know. Like it's one of the things that stayed with me that I was thinking as I realized the parade had ended, we had stopped, it's time to get off the float, and yet there was still millions of people around you just screaming and excited, and there was City Hall. And I just turned around and I looked down back the other way. The Canyon Heroes or the other floats were still coming. And I just said to myself, it's never going to be like this ever again, no matter what.
Not
if
like
they
that.
win another, it's not going to be like this. If anyone else wins, it's not going to be like this. And so it was almost like that, take it in for a moment. Like I told myself, just stop for a second and just take that in. Look down where you just came from. And these people hanging from street signs and street lights. And like just saying to myself, it's never going to be this big ever again.
No, the first time is always the one that's special. I remember even though the second Giants Super Bowl was way more interesting. It was Super Bowl 25 and the Norwood Miss. It was a competitive game. They upset the Buffalo Bills.
Gulf War, too. There was a lot of emotion.
The one you think about is 86 because that was the first Super Bowl that they had. It's the first championship I saw as a Giants fan, and that even though it was a blowout game and it was interesting in the first half, but not nearly as interesting as Super Bowl 25. Certainly not as interesting as the two beating the Patriots.
Oh, God.
But the first one that you saw, that's something that's really, really special. It's going to live forever. Let's go to Steve in California. You're on ESPN New York. Now turn down the radio, buddy.
Always a pleasure.
What's up?
Yep, I'm moving away. Can you? All right.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure. Always. A couple things I want to say. If I'm Leon Rose, I'm getting together with the team to find out what they want to do. Karl-Anthony Towns is going to have a big impact on this. This is going to become an issue now between players and the Players Association and owners, because players are going to see what the Knicks have done, and are players willing to take cuts and not take those huge max deals so that the team can build depth around them. This is going to be something that's going to be very important moving forward. The fact that they have all of their starters coming back, the one guy that they must keep moving forward is Mo Diawara as well.
That's going to be tough.
Your list.
That's going to be tough. Restricted free agent, 20 years old. There's teams that are going to want to throw money at him to hope he turns into something special. And for the Knicks, as nice as the idea of maybe in 4 years he could become an all-star, or 5 years, you can't use that money to do that. To match that would be very difficult.
I'm not sure it takes that long for him. I think this is why they kept him hidden the rest of the year, is that they feel that he can fill in at multiple spots and be one of those positionless guys who's really worth hanging on to, and he knows their system and he knows how to play.
I think I would not at the expense of losing someone who can help you win right now. You can't. You just can't.
I believe he can. And here's the other thing, Alan. You know how many years the Knicks needed to have that veteran guy on their roster to show guys how to win? They don't need that roster spot now. They've got that.
So then who are you saying goodbye to? Like Don always says, who you taking out? Because you'll have to say goodbye to somebody.
So I think they may see more in Diawara than they see in Dadier. I don't know the answer.
Well, that's not it. But that's not a comp here. I'm talking about Shamet, McBride, Robinson, or Alvarado. One of those have to go
they
then.
Believe that he could. I would say McBride easily. I know the injury impacted him, but his skills are replaceable. And I believe that Dadier is going to have so much upside. I mean, Diawara has so much upside, and he plays defense at a level. He's 6'8", 6'9",
He's still
and
growing.
can play three positions.
Okay.
So that's a guy who knows your system and can fill it. And here's the one thing besides what you said, Alan, is that you never know how injuries are going to play. You're looking forward. Yes, they've got their starting five. They're all in their prime. They have an excellent shot. They need another defensive rebounder. They got to keep Mitch. Or somebody who can do what Mitch does.
All you have right
now,
just so you know, Steve, and again, appreciate the call. All you got to know this: they have $13 million under that second apron. That's all they got. Now you're allowed to sign your own players and go over that apron. You can do that. There's no penalty. You can do it. You can't bring in other players and go over the apron. That's what makes that the hard cap. So they have to make a choice. Steve's choice is Deuce McBride. He would let him go to keep that. And this is where we're getting to right now. This is where it becomes
and I hate this is
very
it's
difficult.
not fun, but it's
No,
let me ask you real
but
quick,
you know
though.
what is fun?
Oh, fine.
Is the fact that we are finally starting this great project I've been talking about forever.
I've heard you talking.
I told you earlier on the
go
show.
ahead. Talk to me.
Project's going to begin this week. The beautiful French door I've been telling you about arrives Thursday. And we got that door from Rings End. Now, you're saying, why'd you go to Rings End? Well, my contractor and I talked about the importance of a high-end quality door that we want to put into this project that we are building. And we know Rings End is that. Why? Well, they have an extensive inventory of built-to-last high-end product lines that contractors like my guy Michael relies on. So they have showrooms. You can go in, you can touch and feel these products. You can see exactly what you're getting. They have, by the way, 8 full-service lumber yards in Connecticut and Westchester County. They're around the area. 12 freestanding paint centers as well. They are family-owned and operated since 1902, so they've been in business for a long time, over 100 years. They have deep Northeast roots, so they're not a national chain, everyone. They know the Northeast. They know the area. They know what you need. They also support local builders and communities. And by the way, if you can't make it to a store, you can shop online. So check them out, ringsend.com. That's ringsend.com.
John in Queens, you're on ESPN New York.
What's up, boys? How we doing?
What's up?
How are you? What up, man?
First time I get the call. Hey, first time I get the call. I guess now is post playoff run. I've tried to get in, but the lines are busy. But I'm just glad to be talking to you guys now. But I know we were just talking about who we. The last caller was talking about who we want to keep and not bring back, whatever. But I want to bring another point you guys are talking about. We were talking about the title droughts, right? And specifically like the rating numbers of Cubs, Indians,
Cubs,
right?
Cleveland,
yeah.
And Cleveland. Excuse me, I apologize. But then Indians. But the point is, so like, I know the 53-year title drought, right, for the Knicks. But something you guys were talking about was, I as a Knicks fan, I don't know, maybe I just never heard it from other Knicks fans I know. 53 years was never like a calling card for us. I never heard like how Sox fans and Cubs fans used to be 86 years, 108 years, and they used to champagne like the champion the year, the last one. Like people would use like 1918 to tease Sox fans. People would say 1916 to tease Cubs fans. I know the Rangers, people were saying 1940 to tease Ranger fans, but that was never, I don't think that, has that ever been a thing for like the Knicks? Is it just because like the Knicks were so bad?
No,
like,
it's always been a
that's
thing.
just a question. I don't have like a,
but
I never heard like opposing team fans use it.
Well, no, but they do. And how old are you?
I'm 32.
Okay,
so,
so you're on the younger side, right?
I'm not that.
Right.
Yeah.
But the
I'm
reason
on the
why
younger side.
I don't know if that's something that was from more of the younger generation, but I know from the older generation thing, and I always would hear about it. Like it's all you'd ever talk about. Franchise hasn't won in over 50 years. Once it got to 50, that's when it became a thing.
But there's also nothing like 1940
I mean,
kind of
73 doesn't rhyme? You don't have any type of like
yeah, what do you say?
cadence?
1973.
No,
what are you
it
going to
don't
keep
work.
changing? 50 years, 51 years, 50.
Rangers fans started chanting 1983 after they won the Cup, as if to mock Islander fans. It's like, that doesn't sound as cool.
It doesn't work.
Right.
But I think what's missing is that there's just nothing that kind of made sense to go after. Everybody knew it had been a long, long time, an obnoxiously long time.
Yes.
We knew the Cubs 1908 because it was 1908.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh my God.
The aughts, as they say.
But and the 1918 with the Red, it was more. It wasn't so much about the Red Sox hadn't won since 1918. It was the curse of the Bambino. There was no real curse. See, here was the problem with the Knicks. They were just bad. Like there was never any curse, right? Nobody's. What was the Ranger thing that the New York Americans with the lease on Madison Square Garden said you're never gonna win a Stanley Cup, and then with the and what was the one with the Cubs was the donkey, right?
Yes.
There was no fun myth or story of a Knick player sold like the way Babe Ruth was sold to the Yankees. It was just, they hadn't won since 1973. There was no story. There was nothing that just made sense in a chant. It was just a long ass time. That was it. Honestly, there was nothing else to it.
Here was the curse. you were really bad and poorly run for many, many years. I mean, think about if you want to go through all the choices that worked against you, it starts with deciding that when Dr. J became available, we're already in on George Gervin, though. Not George Gervin. I'm sorry, George McGinnis.
Right.
We're already in on him.
George Gervin would have made a little bit more sense.
But we're already in on George McGinnis, so we can't go for Dr. J. And everybody's like, you what?
Say what?
Then you have that. Passing on Larry Bird in the draft because he wasn't going to come out that
But that's
year.
all
You passed on Larry Bird. What are you doing?
Right.
Trading a pick that ended up becoming Scottie Pippen, who would come back to haunt you after all these years. Like just little things that happened along the way that you kept face palming about. That was the curse, not.
Yeah, we needed a story.
A black cat or something.
Yeah,
like
we needed Walt Clyde losing a bet to like Raj Gilbert at Studio 54, and that's why the Knicks had if it was a fun, cute story,
right?
We never really had that. But you know what? It's over anyway, so it doesn't matter.
No.
All right, weekend recap. Linda Cohen at 5:30, ENN at 6. We're out of Dodge at 6:30 because it's Mets Cubs weather pending on ESPN New York.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
I've waited a lifetime for this.
It's happening, Knicks fans. It's happening.
I'm now living the dream.
And a team that will live forever. Next stop, the Canyon of Heroes. The New York Knicks are NBA champions.
Champions.
DiPietro and Rothenberg. Morning 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
The World's Game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2-up early payouts so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pregame, straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you'll instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the World's Game. Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals, regardless of the final outcome of the match. Make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age to wager and physically present in New York only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply.
Want to earn extra revenue for your business? Amazon Hub Delivery is looking for local business owners to assist with deliveries. When you become a partner, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area on a schedule that works for you. With each package delivered, you'll gain extra revenue and exposure for your business. Plus, Amazon Hub Delivery makes it easy to get started. There's no upfront cost, delivery experience, or long-term contracts required. Sign up to learn more at Amazon.com/Hub Delivery. That's Amazon.com/HUB Delivery.
Skechers elite athlete OG ANUNOBY has been making history on the basketball court.
ANUNOBY tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-294-0222. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction, and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-294-0222. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-294-0222. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks, guys. We're going to start off in Jersey. FIFA World Cup tonight at New York, New Jersey Stadium. A lot of people already heading into the Meadowlands, and we've got this issue on Route 3 westbound by Park Avenue in Rutherford. Broken down tractor trailer with a debris spill still out there blocking 2 lanes. Traffic is starting to back up to the eastern spur with the weather moving through. Also, bumper to bumper on 120 heading toward the stadium. Slowing down on the western spur, both up and down, moving toward Route 3. Inbound Georgia, great ride for both the upper and lower decks. Worst if it's the outbound George, Cross Bronx westbound, slam from the Bruckner on through. Outbound Lincoln Orania close to an hour. We had an earlier crash on the outbound Helix. Outbound Hone about a 45-minute ride. This report is sponsored by America 250. To celebrate America's 250th anniversary, they're coming together coast to coast. Get involved with live events. Visit America250.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. It's a fruity candy flavor explosion, and I mean explosion. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots, a zero-sugar treat that's sweet tooth approved. These can take care of my candy cravings and provides a tasty caffeine kick without all the sugar. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get candy-flavored chaos with Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots, available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love. Sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
It's now time for the weekend recap, and it's brought to you by Neutral, and Alan Hahn's got a couple of cool things.
I mentioned it earlier. I think this is something all of us in this area should pay closer attention to because I'm very, is it myopic? Is that the word, right? Like I like to focus on people from our area that are doing cool things.
Right.
And so you're watching the World Cup and you're watching the U.S. team, and they've had a hell of a run early on now in the double elimination stage. And a name like that popped up on the screen as he got into the game on Friday afternoon, the U.S. win over Australia, got in late, is Joe Scally. And Joe Scally is from Lake Grove, which is out on Long Island. He went to Sachem, and he was he grew up, and you could tell immediately, like just reading his story, that it was something special about him on the soccer field. By the time he was a teenager, he was getting signed to a pro contract. Played for NYCFC, and now he's in Bundesliga playing overseas, and he's become one of the top young American players. He had, it's just a cool story to see a kid from this area. This is not, naturally a place where you're just going to see a lot of great international soccer talents coming out of. We've had some, but, to see this story is really cool.
There you go.
I mean, he ended up signing, guys, at 15 years old.
Yeah.
A pro contract. His second youngest player from the U.S. to sign a pro contract.
Freddie Adu, the first time he
That's
right?
a very good job by you.
That's a good pull.
If all of us knew it, is it that good a job?
It's not a strange pull.
No. If all three of us would have guessed Freddie Adu.
Right. Like a nice good pull.
I bid you adieu. So, anyways, I caught it. He got in. It was his first appearance. He has played, obviously, for the U.S. before or been on the team, but him getting his first look at 23 years old is, a really cool thing, and let's just keep an eye on him as we go forward. So,
all right,
you have a rooting interest.
Now you're really
shout out Joe Scally. Oh, come on! All you got to tell me is, there's a guy from Long Island on the team. Done. I'm in. I'm unabashedly a fan now. I'm watching every game.
It's been a pretty cool start.
So that's a cool story. And if I could just shout out my daughter Callie.
And to do it without Pulisic, by the way, for the first game and a half.
Very impressive.
Now, unfortunately, the thing he's dealing with, Don, is what we always talk about: calves. And what a pain in the you-know-what they are.
And apparently it wasn't when he got kicked. It happened in practice.
Yeah, so it was something that happened in practice. I guess it was aggravated when he got kicked.
Not great.
It is worrisome, though. Because you just never know. When they're worried about a calf. Think about it like this. To be where he is at this stage in his career and be missing World Cup games. Think about it.
He's not 100%. Killing him.
Think about the level. It's got to be.
Better luck next year.
If 4 years. If this was an annoying pain,
where
he could take a shot and feel okay, he's doing it. So that is worrisome, guys.
He's so important now that we get to the real part of the tournament. Right, so that's big. But I just quickly wanted to shout out my daughter, Callie. She, the New York Rangers, just reached out to her to let her know that she has made their 12U team, which is a tournament team that they put together of players from all around the tri-state area. And she was among one of the younger girls there, but she made the team. So I'm very proud of her.
And how old is she?
She's 11. Now, she has to wear a Rangers jersey, which for her is not easy because she loves the Islanders.
Well,
but we're going to make an exception.
You're going to have to push.
We're very happy about that.
You're going to have to.
Yeah. So I just wanted to shout her out.
Yeah, Marco does that sometimes. Like, what if I become a Red Sox? Are you still going to root for me?
You should say no.
No, that's the line. I'm out.
You know what? No, you tell them Red Sox. That's fine. If you become a Philly, you're out. I'm not sure.
I can't.
I'm a Mets fan. How am I rooting for the Phillies?
Don LaGreca's answer before I had children would be completely different. But if he becomes a baseball player and becomes that would be my team.
Of course it would,
right.
Don.
I mean,
and you're
I
not a
don't
fraud.
care. It's the
you're
the Miami Marlins. I'm all in.
Yes.
We're all moving down to Miami. I'm going to buy hats, jerseys, be there at every game.
Now that's interesting. Would you really think if baseball, pro baseball, you're going to every game? Pro ball player?
First of all,
if you're still on the air,
Ted is obviously the front runner as far as where I am by the time he gets to the majors.
No, I'm just saying, 58 years old. No, it could be 12 years away.
What are you talking about?
12 years away. All of a sudden, I'm 70.
Yeah, but it's not, right? It's not on the table.
Right, let's try to be a little bit more optimistic.
Yeah, I think 70.
Although, listen, I think he's a hell of a player. I don't think he's playing in the bigs at 20, okay?
How do you know?
But
you don't know.
If it did happen,
play
at 70, I don't know where Jalen's going to be. But
come on, you're getting an RV.
Florida's kind of where 70-year-olds go anyway.
Oh, boy.
So going to Miami, but would I move to the city in which he played?
Maybe.
No, but if I did, why wouldn't I go to every game?
Well, so I would
go to every game.
No,
I don't know. I travel.
I'm saying baseball is baseball. It'd be interesting to ask the average baseball parent. I'm sure we have some listening right now, like the Volpes. Like, how much do you go?
Well, they're from Jersey. They go to every home game.
Yeah. Every home game?
They're going to every game.
If he was a Met or a Yankee.
All Met aren't going, but there's always somebody.
Somebody's going.
If I stayed in New York or he played somewhere where it's logical for me to move, all right, I like the Raleigh area. There's a lot of New Yorkers and new people from
I have terrible news for you.
No, but there's a lot of rumors that by the time that they might get a team.
They might get a team.
I'm just saying, if it was somewhere
We're
like
really
that,
down the road of fantasy now.
Not
only is Marco in the majors,
Charlotte.
Not only is Marco in the majors, we created a team in a market that's not even there yet.
But
I love where we're at right now.
We made up.
Listen, it's fantasy land. You know the chances of making the
bigs is not easy.
We did this with Zach in Seattle. Stephanie misread, whatever it is, missaid lyrics to a song, and she thought it was Seattle. And so we kept saying, well, that's where you're going to play in the NHL.
And then
there wasn't even a team in Seattle. And now there's a team.
And now there's a team in Seattle.
Well,
you know what?
Now we know where you're going.
But let's just say it was Marlins or Rays, and we retired down to Florida. Why wouldn't I go to every game?
Of course you would. If he played for the Somerset Patriots, you'd be there during practice.
Listen, I don't know.
You know this.
Listen, I don't know. My dad literally didn't go to any of my baseball games as a kid. Now, granted, there was no chance of me making the majors. But I just don't know. Would one want to go to 80 games a year? I guess year one, you're like, oh, my God. And then once it becomes clear, my kid's a perennial ball player, now you start going 30 times a year.
Since we're living in fantasy land, I think he's going to pull a Soto. He's going to demand a suite.
Yes.
For the family. So if I'm sitting in a suite every game,
why would you not want to go? Just go for dinner. I just want to go have dinner.
I'll tell you what, if he doesn't demand that, what are we doing?
Right.
All this that you've learned,
let me ask,
and you don't do that?
Let me ask you a tough question, though.
Yes.
Because obviously we know, Dave Rothenberg's a psychopath.
Yes.
And says he would, root for his kid to get sacked by LT or whatever it was. However, let's say Marco ends up on the Phillies.
Yeah.
The Phillies become your team now. Now you're focused on whatever they're doing.
Right.
When they're not playing the Mets, though, you're still rooting for the Mets, no? You can't just kill off your love of the Mets.
I'm looking for a reason. I'm just
you know what?
I'm hungry. I'm rubbing veins looking for anything to inject to get out.
You know what?
I'm just looking for anything.
Wow.
I'm like really.
That is a tremendous point you're making there.
Yeah, I made it so easy by saying
like,
the Mets.
remember when Chappelle was the crack addict and my lips are all white? I'm just looking for any door to get out. I'm just looking. Give me a reason. Just give me some reason.
That's a great point. Sorry.
I can't think of a better reason.
And you don't really have, the fact of the matter is, you don't really have a team that you love. The Devils are your job now. of the teams you root for as a fan, you don't really have one. I mean, the Giants are
The Giants.
Yeah, but they've been on the edge of becoming one of those teams now for the last several years.
Right.
Like in 5 more years.
I think they're coming back though. I think Donnie's good. I see Donnie all in this year.
A lot of people are getting.
I've always
Donnie's
been all in. I've watched every second.
No, but you're gonna be in on this.
You sure?
I think even Pusick might.
I don't. God, am I being a hater? I'm like not believing what everyone else is putting down.
I like everything I'm hearing about that team.
He likes things he's hearing. I'm not.
Well,
my eyes aren't telling me anything I'm impressed with yet.
And you've got a pretty decent track record, I think, of like sensing. Like you saw,
I sense
Shermer wasn't going to be the guy.
Well, it's been easy to sense with this team. No.
No, but but
Same with the Jets.
Getting to know you for 10+ years. This is you doubling down on the QB. You want to see more. People have definitely taken a leap.
They did.
Believing that Dart is guaranteed the next franchise quarterback. So I think you're kind of, and listen, if he's not, then I think the Giants are not going to be a playoff team. But I think that you have to admit, the hiring of John Harbaugh, they have now, you got to feel pretty good. They're no longer an embarrassment. They may not go to the playoffs. They may not be a championship team, but the embarrassment they've been for the better part of a decade, I do think
you would think they'll write that
odds are
ship.
they're writing that.
I think that's fair. I think Harbaugh is really solid, so I have every reason to think that. Again, I always point out there's a reason he's not in Baltimore anymore. He couldn't make it work, obviously, with one of the most talented players in the league. So something has gone awry there, but I believe he'll right the ship in that way. My thing with the Giants is multifold. One, people are so desperate for them to find their quarterback, and believe me, I've been there, I get it, that they jumped out the window very fast with the kid, and to me, he just simply hasn't shown that much yet. And people were like so ready to. And he's got a lot of swagger and moxie. Like I get it. I get why you think he's it, but it's all hints, not the real. Then the most talented player, the players who I believed were the most talented. You know, Dexter Lawrence, as much as he had disappointed at times, was clearly among the most talented. He obviously didn't want to be here anymore. He's gone. They made it work trade-wise, but you still lost a great talent. And then you have the guy I think is all-world on this team if he were to fully be healthy again, Malik Neighbors, and we're worried about what his timeline looks like. That worries me.
That's fair.
Then the last little bonus you had was this scrappy, where did he come from, except my buddy had been telling us about him because he lives in Arizona, in Scadaboo. You got this guy Scadaboo who's just nothing but heart and willing to run through walls, suffers a gruesome injury, and everyone is just assuming, and I love being positive, that he'll just continue to be on who he was. However, my concern about that is what made Scadaboo a capable NFL player was that he played with reckless abandon. I don't know that won't be somewhat compromised coming off of a lower leg injury like that.
You know what I think is bigger than all of it? Bigger than Scadaboo, bigger than Dart, bigger than Harbaugh, is that you at least have to give me this. At some point, the Giants do always seem to figure it out.
They do.
All right? Because this is not the first time they've been embarrassing. But they always, I give you the Dave Brown era. I can go back to the 70s when they couldn't get anything going. But then eventually they kind of right the ship. They're good for a while, and then they'll fall apart again.
90s, 2000,
right.
07, 11.
Right. So,
they're due.
So
they're
they
more
feel,
than due.
And now, not only are they due, it looks like they got the quarterback, and it looks definitely like they've got a competent head coach. So it all seems to be coming together. I think that's more it than believing Dart's going to be the next Joe Montana.
Right.
Or believing Scadaboo's going to be the next Walter Payton, and it's all going to come together.
You have faith in the franchise.
They always seem to just get it back on track for a little while. That's kind of part of their journey.
And maybe I've been influenced by being around Anthony, who's young enough to both remember the 2011 Super Bowl. Both. What year were you born, Anthony?
94.
94.
Oh, so you remember 07, too.
Mm-hmm.
So remember the Super Bowls, but also is young enough that basically half of his life they've been a complete joke also. So maybe I've been influenced by being around his energy, which is very dark when
fair.
it comes to the Giants.
Yeah, it's fair. But I feel like especially with our good friend here, Don LaGreca, is that he doesn't suffer fools.
No.
So he's not going to get in on something that you can see. It's not really all there, but it's my team, so I'm going to give him support.
No, he'll need to see it.
He's the discerning type that is going to watch it and say, you've got to draw me back in. And I just feel like, and you're not wrong about the quarterback. You're not wrong. He's got a lot more to prove.
People are
That's
high.
true. But that's what makes Harbaugh, to me, so valuable, is because everybody knows that. If you had a weaker coach or a lesser-named coach, guess who becomes the voice of everything for this franchise?
Yeah, the kid.
That kid.
Yep.
But he's not.
And let's face it,
but
too.
that's important.
But Harbaugh didn't have it working exactly right with Lamar.
No, but they were a perennial playoff team. They had a clue.
No,
they just couldn't get over the top.
Hey, eventually it just kind of wore out.
Is it possible that we'll fast forward 10 years from now? He got the Giants on the right track, got him a perennial playoff team, but didn't get him a championship?
Sure. I think
and then eventually he leaves with a legacy of, he'll get you there, but only the one time he won. But, I want that problem.
You would take that.
I want the problem of a team that just can't get to the Super Bowl.
That's it.
I'm getting a little bored with the championship games. When are they going to finally get to a Super Bowl? I want that problem.
What a glorious
How much
place
is that
to be.
problem?
I'm so sick of just playing in the championship. That's what me as a Jets fan. Back-to-back years, and I'm like,
time to get over the hump.
Can we just get over the hump? This is so frustrating.
Taking the knee at the shadow of your own goal line, things like I'd like the new problem. We just can't seem to win the championship.
Yeah, from
game.
taking a knee at your own goal line to not enough championship appearances, you take that.
All right, that was our weekend recap brought to you by Neutral.
That was good.
Keep it tasty with Neutral Vodka Seltzer, made with real vodka and real fruit juice. Enjoy responsibly. We got lots going on. We're going to take you up until 6:30. 1-800-919-3776 number to call. You want to talk Knicks? You want to talk World Cup? Some baseball to get into as well. It's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Take you up until 6:30 here on ESPN New York.
D'Agostino Law Bite Back. This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates. Did you know Social Security takes money out of every paycheck you earn, paycheck after paycheck, and you're not supposed to touch that money until you're 67? What if you can't work? What if you need that money now? The system is challenging and most people get denied. That's a fact. D'Agostino & Associates has the experience to win, and we win a lot. If you filed for Social Security disability benefits and were denied, let us appeal. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. Bite Back means fight back. 1-800-248-3222. We'll fight to get you paid. D'Agostino & Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and handles Social Security disability claims and appeals. Remember, if you've been denied, call us first. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. D'Agostino & Associates. We win a lot.
Listen up. Fanatics Fest returns to the Javits Center July 16th through the 19th for 4 days of nonstop action right in the middle of the biggest sports weekend of the summer. See more than 500 athletes and celebrities, including Aaron Judge, Kevin Durant, Jalen Brunson, Jay-Z, Travis Scott, and hundreds more. All at the world's #1 sports fan festival. Tickets are on sale now. Grab yours before they're gone at fanaticsfest.com.
This is the Michael K. Show.
All the genius that we thought that David Stearns was, right? Maybe, just maybe, it wasn't him with Milwaukee, because they haven't skipped a beat without him. At some point, when does he get blamed? Because now I think there's going to be a lot of spotlight on the Mets and how bad they are, because there's no Knicks to distract you. The Mets are a terribly put together team.
The Michael K. Show. Weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
When care matters most, experience matters more. The Allure Group is redefining rehabilitation and long-term care across New York with 6 convenient locations. Their expert clinicians create personalized care plans to help you recover, rebuild, and get back to what matters most. From short-term rehab to long-term care, Allure is committed to comfort, dignity, and results. To learn more, visit allurecare.com. The Allure Group, where care meets compassion.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever, meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets, so go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
Progressive presents ways to save money that aren't bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive.
Thanks again for taking me to the game, man. I can't wait to get in there. By the way, what's in the bag?
Oh, I bring my own hot dog and peanuts. Saves a ton.
Savvy. And what about the beach chairs?
Why buy seats when you can save big and bring your own?
We can't get in without tickets.
Tickets? What do you think the portable TV is for?
Don't save money pretending to go to the game. You could save hundreds by switching to Progressive. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
In a world parched for excitement, one drink will emerge. Twisted Tea, the refreshing thrill ride of flavor. Recreating its classic role as the hard iced tea that goes down smooth. Twisted Tea doesn't just taste like real iced tea, it's made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol. Taste the adventure with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Soccer fans, join Bart and Carlin for a watch party presented by Rothenberg Pilsner Thursday, June 25th. Watch the match between Germany and Ecuador at the Hoboken Beer Garden in Hoboken, New Jersey, starting at 4 p.m. Enjoy Pilsner perfection since 1872 from the first German Pilsner. Come out, grab a cold Rothenberger, and join the energy with ESPN New York. That's Bart and Carlin live at the Hoboken Beer Garden Thursday, June 25th. Brought to you by Rothenberg Pilsner.
Just like the New Jersey Devils bring intensity to the ice, Viking Pest Control brings that same level of protection to your home. And I know this because I use Viking at my own place. I mean, they're there taking care of everything because this is the season you want this all taken care of. You do not want to barbecue and having flies, bugs, ants bothering everybody. They're not going to want to come back.
No.
Season might be over, but pests are always in play, so it is time to lock in your off-season defense. As the pest control provider and proud partner of the Devils, Viking provides 45 years of trusted experience to keep ants, cockroaches, stinging insects, rodents, mosquitoes, and more out of your zone. Their local team builds a personalized game plan that actually works, and when you bundle pest control mosquito services, you score big savings. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com, protecting your home inside and out. Wanted to mention this because our guy Mike Breen's throwing out the first pitch of the Met game tonight.
Yes.
How you like that?
That is very cool. He is a lifelong Met fan. So how he and Michael stayed close is very interesting, right? Because how many times has he offered to join the dark side, as Michael used to like to say? So he is going to be throwing out the first pitch. I believe Thursday, Alvarado's going to be throwing out the first pitch. And
nice.
then OG, I think, is going to be this weekend throwing out the first pitch to Jose Reyes because OG is a big Met fan. Did you know that?
A big Met fan?
That's what everybody says big in front of fans.
He said he collected cards, and one of his favorite teams back in the day was the early 2000s Mets, and then Jose Reyes invited him out to a game. This all happened within the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Now, but everybody throws big. I'm going to give you an example, and I'm going to call out a friend when I do this.
Okay.
Bruce Springsteen. We might have had this conversation many years ago.
He goes after Springsteen a lot, doesn't he?
K goes.
We're never getting him on the show.
K goes, big baseball fan. I said, really?
No, don't do this. We've done
Why?
this a
Because
lot.
he's showcased. Listen, big Devil fan. At one time, it was like there was a buzz. Sherry Ross. Remember Sherry?
Yeah, love Sherry
Big
Ross.
Springsteen fan.
Yes.
He was at a Devil game like 20 years ago or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, big Devil. He's not a big Devil fan. Somebody invited him to the suite. He was probably hungry. Swung by.
He was probably hungry.
You know, and Michael said, oh, Springsteen, big baseball. No. Well, he wrote that song, Glory Days, right?
I had a friend who was a big baseball player.
Yeah.
Could throw that speedball by you.
Speedball.
Oh, the speedball.
Fast works just as well. So don't give
He
me,
didn't
well,
know.
speed just made it because it rhymed.
He didn't know.
He could throw that fastball by you.
It doesn't sound
Make
as
you
good, though.
look like a fool,
Nah,
boy.
but speed
He said
has
speed
like a-
because he doesn't know the game.
And that's
He's the guy would walk up to home plate holding the bat the wrong way. And there's nothing wrong with that. He's a brilliant artist. He doesn't know how
you
to
don't
play
care.
baseball. Doesn't matter. But he probably went to a Yankee game one time, probably got invited. Why wouldn't you get invited to a Yankee game? You're one of the biggest stars on the planet, right? And all of a sudden, oh, yeah, big baseball fan. Everybody throws big in front of fan whenever they get the remote possibility that you might care about their team.
Well, don't worry. Last week was the week that the bar changed again, and Mamdani's speech was so good, so undeniably good and detailed with his Knicks thing, that the next thing I saw was all of a sudden all over social media. Oh, he's really good at reading things written by other people. You mean like every politician since the dawn of time? Why? So now you want to go in. I didn't believe when he talked about Carmelo coming home or Linsanity or Clyde Frazier. Now, even though he did it perfectly well, now you want to question whether it's deep in his soul or not.
It's probably not.
I don't know the level to it. The point is that he did a great job. Now you want to go, that's not enough, though. I want to dig into it and find out. Do you do a good job or not? In the case of Springsteen, what Don's saying is, Don doesn't care whether he's a baseball fan or not, but you didn't do a good job pretending to be a baseball fan.
Right.
If Mom Donnie had gotten up there and said, I tell you what, Karl-Anthony Towns, when he puts up that 3-shot, we know he can put down a 3-shot with the best of them. Well, now you sound like a yo-yo.
Hang on.
He's a big dunker.
This was researched.
Which part?
The speedball thing.
Okay, and what did you find?
This goes back to 2011.
Okay.
All right. The question was asked, why does he say speedball?
To Bruce.
No.
To the world.
To the world.
Oh, okay.
And it was researced,
All right.
saying,
because the internet never lies.
I mean, who says speedball?
Nobody.
Who does?
It's not even what they call it in baseball. Well, apparently there's a wonderful thing called the Baseball Dictionary, written by Paul Dixon. In it, you can find definitions and origins, just about every baseball term you've ever heard and thousands you haven't. Lo and behold, on page 809, we have this entry. Speedball.
There we go.
A fastball, used first in 1918 in the Boston Herald. Jim Vaughn's buzzer, the speedball, is a mighty breeze, and it's difficult to hit. So there you go.
All right. Here's how dopey that was. Bruce was a big fan of the aughts in baseball, and come on, stop it. He's not. At best, he's a casual. But he could have used fast; it would have worked. But
I think
he
we
wants
get him
to show
on.
you how big a baseball
I
fan
think we
is.
get him on.
1980
Once and for all, we gotta know.
Yeah,
I'm a fan.
Call him. Call
Get him on.
Springsteen. Just call Bruce and say, hop on.
I like his music.
I think you go to a concert and just start heckling him.
What's the speedball mean, you yo-yo? Listen, I love Bruce, but I don't disagree with Don's statement.
I think both could be true.
Yeah, and by the way, we're never having this conversation if he simply says fastball.
Yeah.
And that's the issue. If you're going to do it, you just got to do it well. And that's why I gave Mom Donnie such props for the speech, because I'm sitting there going, God, I'm not even a Knicks fan. I'm ready to be by the time the speech ended.
Yeah, that was one of those run-through-a-wall speeches.
Yeah, at the end, you're like, you're this team.
Yeah.
That's why again, and back to my point. So the next day to see people, like we're having this moment where we're all coming together. Now we need to dissect, I'm not sure if he wrote
welcome
it.
to the world. Welcome to the 21st century.
It's
That's all it ever is.
It's 2026, and we can't just all have a moment together.
He also, he played Little League in New Jersey. Grew up playing Little League.
All right.
In fact, the Glory Days is about an actual friend of his.
Who threw a speedball.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. And also,
what if you find out they called it the
one
speedball?
time in 1978 in a concert he was doing in Boston.
Here we go.
He started asking the audience, hey, anybody know the Yankee score? Like,
But he was trolling.
Yeah.
The Boston fans.
Yeah, but he cares about baseball.
Wow.
Well,
Alan will believe anything.
Listen, I like that Alan's in. Alan's fighting for Springsteen.
Bruce.
We don't call him gullible for nothing.
He's fighting for the boss, man.
All right. Listen,
Wait, you call me gullible?
If you believe any of this.
Well, you just said we don't call him gullible for nothing, which means you have
That
called
means
me
that behind
gullible.
your back. We go, what time's Gullible getting?
Yeah.
What's old Gully? What's he getting here?
Where's the old Gully?
Where's Gully McGee today? What are we going to tell him?
Gully McGee and his speedball.
Big 5 o'clock hour. Linda Cohn's going to join us at 5:30. In case you missed it, she is going to retire at the end of the month.
Wow.
I heard that, and I'm going to tell her this when we talk to her. She's an absolute legend, and the good news is that if she wants to play on the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel's changing the game. Because sometimes when your player gets subbed off, your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute now. So you're still in until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. 21 plus, physically present in New York. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Also, ENN at 6, and then we're out of Dodge at 6:30 as the Mets are taking on the Cubs over at Citi Field right here on our air. Don Hahn and Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
If you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, you're taking a risk most people don't think about until it's too late. Summer colds linger and can turn into sinus infections that last for weeks. Getting sick right now before vacation can derail everything. And when you're traveling, finding a doctor and pharmacy is stressful. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having urgent care and a pharmacy right at home. It includes essential prescriptions like amoxicillin and generic Z-Pak to treat a wide range of common and serious illnesses. So if you wake up sick at home or on the road, you already have what you need. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, no pharmacy lines, no copays. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. Start on your meds sooner and feel better faster. Every home needs at least one medical emergency kit. Order yours online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
Greatness isn't given, it's earned. On June 27th at Barclays Center, 2 undefeated stars step into the spotlight for boxing immortality. Jaron Boots Ennis versus Xander Zayas, battling for the unified WBO and WBA World Super Welterweight titles. Only one leaves with the crown. Witness the pursuit of greatness, live at Barclays Center, Brooklyn, June 27th. Final tickets are available now at Ticketmaster.com.
Hey, New York, are you okay to drive? Did you know that driving under the influence isn't just limited to drinking alcohol? Cannabis, prescription drugs, and street drugs can all impair your ability to think and react behind the wheel. Drugs, alone or combined with alcohol, can cause poor coordination and lack of focus. Don't put your life on the line or take someone else's away. Cabs, rideshare, or public transportation are at your fingertips. The New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee is reminding you to make a safe choice. Always drive sober.
And now it's time for traffic. Here's Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. FIFA World Cup tonight at New York, New Jersey Stadium, and it's a gridlock alert day. 42nd Street shut down between the east and west sides. Only buses and shuttles getting through. New York Penn Station, going to need a World Cup ticket to use New Jersey Transit trains. Otherwise, you want to hop over to the path and connect in Hoboken. Route 3 westbound, they finally picked up that broken down tractor trailer over by Park Avenue in Rutherford. Still jammed heading into the Meadowlands. Delays go back to the Turnpike Eastern Spur. Inbound George looking good for both the upper and lower decks. No easy way to the outbound side. Not even the Henry Hudson going to help you out. Outbound Lincoln already about 30 to 40. Outbound Holland 45 plus. Mets are supposed to be home tonight at Citi Field as long as the weather cooperates. Already stop and go at the Whitestone Bridge into Queens. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit MAD.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
When's the last time payroll was the easy part of your week? With Gusto, it can be. Gusto is the all-in-one platform designed to take the hassle out of managing your team, from payroll and compliance to hiring, onboarding, and more. With Gusto, you can get back 2 full days each month with all the time you've saved. Go to gusto.com today and learn why over 500,000 small businesses choose Gusto. That's GUSTO.com. Gusto.com.
Less than 4 in 10 kids aged 6 through 12 are playing sports regularly. 4 in 10 kids? Let it sink in. Just 4 in 10 kids. ESPN is building a nationwide coalition powered by Disney called Take Back Sports, with the purpose of training more coaches, expanding access, and creating community-driven sports programming that puts kids and fun first. We're working on that story. We hope you'll join us.
Visit takebacksports.org to learn more.
Congratulations to the New York Knicks. They are the 2026 NBA champions. WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew's Irish Whiskey. Got to listen to this. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He
could have just said fastball, no problem.
That would have fit just as perfect, right?
Yeah.
But that's how we said it.
It's not like DiMaggio and Mantle.
We used to say speedball back in the day.
If you wanted to do cocaine.
Sorry?
Right?
What do you mean?
Like an 8-ball. Maybe you called it a speedball. Who
Right.
knows, right?
Speedball, yeah, the speedball is some sort of mix of drugs.
Yeah. So
well, that was the thing in the 80s.
And then it make you look like a fool because,
you
now
look like
you're
a fool,
addicted to
all right.
drugs, you got no money, and you're hanging out at the bar. You're running to Bruce Springsteen. Bruce, can you spot me 100? No, what are you kidding me? Let's go out and have a couple of drinks. I'm not going to lend you any money. Why not, Bruce? You're a millionaire. Don't you remember when I was throwing all that speed your way? All right, you didn't get addicted, but I did. What are you going to do? Why don't you help me out? Help a brother out.
That was all in that one lyric.
All right there.
Right there.
It's all. Listen, it's all about how you feel about a song, right? They write it, but this is what I take from it. I think there's a whole backstory of like drugs and money not being, money being lent out, not paid back, and the mob's involved. It's a whole thing.
Glory Days is about that?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what? If the Sopranos were around in the 80s, I think they would have done a whole episode about it. It would have replaced the Pine Barren episode.
About the friend who was a big baseball player back in high school.
Right, and then
he got in with a bookie.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden he's owing money.
And he got into drugs, but the one thing he was trying to hold on to is his childhood friend Bruce Springsteen bailing him out. And Bruce said,
like,
all I can do for you is I'll write a song about you. How about that?
I'll write a song
is there
about
any
your
money in
demise.
that?
The old
Not
speedball.
Not a dime.
Remember when you peaked in high school? I'll write about that.
Right. This song is going to be so big that 40 years from now, they're going to talk about it on a sports radio station. And it's going to be at my expense, but don't worry about it. It's all about you.
It's all right.
Am I going to make any money? Not a dime.
Not a dime.
Nothing.
But that's all right.
Well, we love you.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time,
Dolly time.
It's Tully time.
Well, the Mets start a series with the Cubs. Coverage immediately following us on 880 at 6:30. But if you looked out the window, there's rain. There's a lot of rain in the forecast, but the Cubs are only coming here once, so I'm sure they're going to try to make this work instead of having a doubleheader tomorrow or Wednesday. We'll have to see. But right now, it's still being played, and coverage will begin at 6:30. And the Yankees are out in Detroit taking on the Tigers at 6:05. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. You know, we started the day talking about the Knicks and their chances of repeating, but now we kind of pivot to baseball and where the locals stand. Mets are a mess. I mean, they take 2 out of 3 from Atlanta, get you excited, and then they lose the next 2 series, and they're giving up runs early. And I don't know any other answer. I'll give Alan credit for it. When we were having our meeting today and we touched on baseball, it's like David Stearns is good at what he does. He's not. Everything has been a fail. Basically everything. The only thing that hasn't been a fail for him was getting away from Diaz, because Diaz with his issues and hasn't been able to pitch, and he has done a good job. As much as you may not like it being a Yankee fan, but Devin Williams has done his job. Weaver's been really good, but otherwise everything offensively, the run prevention, it just is blown up in his face. And tonight, I think, is game 78. So game 81 will be literally the halfway point of the season. And they're one of the worst teams in baseball. Now, do I think they're the worst team in baseball? No. But you know what I think they are, Alan? They're average. They're just an average team. They'll take 2 out of 3 from the Braves and give it right back by losing 2 out of 3 to the Reds and to the Phillies. They'll surprise people, and maybe they'll take 2 out of 3 from the Cubs. Oh, it's coming together, and then fall apart again. They are an average baseball team. And last year, jobs were lost on this team, player-wise, because they had the audacity to win just 83 games. They'd be lucky to win 83 games this year. Epic fail. Is it enough to make a change at the GM position, or is COHN completely married to this regime because of how long he waited for Stearns to get out of his contract with Milwaukee? I feel it's the latter. I feel he's going to stick with this, and then we'll see what happens during the offseason. But don't look to him to get fired now. At this point, why not just keep Mendoza? I mean, you had a chance to fire him to turn things around. Look what Philadelphia did. Thompson goes, in comes Mattingly. All of a sudden, the Phillies are a playoff team.
They also had a lot more talent. They just were playing under their expectations.
But you know what's interesting?
Didn't have Zach Wheeler, but yeah.
Fine. And the pitching is really what's turned around for Philadelphia. Although they can hit better than they have been hitting. This turnaround for Philadelphia has mainly been about their pitching. But Kyle Schwarber's a beast, man.
Of course.
29 home runs. Oh, my God. He's a really, really good player.
We knew that, though. That's not
and the Mets don't have
news.
anybody like that. I mean, Soto is like that, but without any protection in the lineup. And I know what you're going to say. Lindor's hurt. It's always some excuse, always some reason. The Yankees just lost the best player on the planet, and they're still finding a way to keep their head above water. Yes, they lost 2 out of 3 to the Reds.
Yeah.
But overall, they have a winning record. And also won like 7 out of 8 in that span without Judge in the lineup.
Right. And again, you know this is going to be the toughest time for the Yankees, but if they can get themselves right, I feel like this is the typical, we always go through the regular season and live and die by it, and I'm saying don't bother. They're going to make the playoffs, the Yankees, right? And to me, all I care about is, can Judge give me an August and September that gets him back in rhythm in time for October? Because I feel like that's the only thing that matters is October. But on the Mets side of things, I'm going to go back to something I said a long time ago about when you're building your teams. And this is the part I'm shocked that David Stearns doesn't have this in his – how is this not in his hard drive? Because he grew up with this. He was a fan of the Mets. He should know this.
All right, but
starting pitching is the Mets' identity. Always. Starting pitching is the Mets' identity, Don. You know, I don't have to tell you this, but that's when they're at their best, they have 3 quality starters.
Mm-hmm.
And their starting pitching is the strength. That's the Mets when they're at their best. And he did not put any priority into it. And the Freddie Peralta thing has not worked out. You thought maybe that would be the move of bringing in a key starter. Could he be an ace? Big answer is no. I think with Nolan McLean, they've gotten lucky finding somebody that has turned into a quality, capable starter. But Minaya was somebody that they thought found something that has failed miserably. We know that. I just feel like, to me, the Tarek Skubal stuff that everybody's talking about with the Yankees is absurd. The Yankees don't need starting pitching, but the Mets do.
Right.
And they need an ace badly.
But the thing with Stearns, we've talked about this a lot. I understand the philosophy of not overpaying for pitchers, getting into long-term contracts with pitchers. Like, I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
They make 20, they make 30 starts. They get hurt all the time. So I understand that philosophy. But explain to me the philosophy, now that it's completely fallen on their face, of taking core players and replacing them with nomads that aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
And they always they get hurt. Oh, run prevention. How about scoring some runs? And that's the frustrating thing. Simeon looks like he's done. So does Polanco. He can't play.
Well, yeah. When does he play?
Well, he had a setback, so now we're going to have to wait another 2 weeks for him to be able to come back. And then also, by the way, play a position that he normally doesn't play for run prevention. But I gave Stearns the benefit of the doubt. But right now, we're almost halfway through a season that looks like it's completely lost after another lost season last year. And, Nimmo had a chance to be a forever Met. McNeil had a chance to be a forever Met. But the biggest one was Pete Alonso. And don't tell me what those guys are doing on other teams. I don't care, whether it's good or bad. But when you make those seismic moves, I said it at the time, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. It better work. And so far, it has not worked.
Polanco and Lou Bob, as Peter calls him.
We love Lou Bob.
2 guys that
always
have
get
injury
hurt.
history, and you banked on them, and it has blown up in your face. This has been a disaster. And so I know changing the GM in the middle of the season does nothing, but I kind of would argue that. Are you sure? Because there still is a trade deadline coming up. And if I'm not saying you're going to make moves now to help the team win this year. I don't even know if you can, but I do think you've got to do something to get yourself on track so that by going into next season, you feel like you have something, whether it's acquiring assets with some of the pieces you have, or whether it's just making moves that might at least show you the team is better now at the end of the season. Because what he said at the end of last year was that next year's team, meaning this year, will be a better roster and a better team.
Wrong.
And it is actually worse.
Now, this is going to sound silly. I don't think it's incompetence because he had a perennial playoff team in Milwaukee. They didn't win, I get it, but they were making the playoffs. They didn't embarrass themselves the way the Mets are embarrassing themselves now. What he is guilty of, in my opinion, is the same thing that Brian Cashman is guilty of.
Which is what?
Being stubborn with their philosophy. He believes the philosophy of run prevention and not paying for pitchers, he believes that works. It has not worked for half a season. And he won't pivot. He won't make the change. Same thing with Cashman. He's got his way of doing things. It frustrates you. Yeah, it hasn't resulted in a championship since 2009. These guys are not incompetent. What they are sometimes is a slave to their own beliefs instead of sometimes pivoting. The true greatness of any coach or general manager is reading the room and saying, you know what, maybe my philosophy doesn't work here. I've got to pivot. And I always use the analogy of Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells was ground and pound with the Giants. All of a sudden, he goes to New England's got Drew Bledsoe. What is he doing? He's throwing 60 times a game. Why? Because that's what the talent of the team dictated he should be doing. Instead of saying, I'm going to run the ball down their throat, even though he had a world-class quarterback and wide receivers, no. He said, I've got a team that can throw. I'm going to throw. And I believe there was a game where like Bledsoe threw 75 times. And people were like, oh, my God, that's not Bill Parcells. No, Bill Parcells is a great coach. I'm going to play to the talent I have.
Yes.
With the Giants, I can run the ball. I'm going to run it down your throat. But all of a sudden, I got a good quarterback. I got some weapons. Guess what? I'm going to throw the ball. That's what you do. Now, he'll save his job probably because, hey, it's only one season. But please believe in me, Steve. And Steve will, because Steve waited forever. That was the girl he wanted at the dance, and he waited till the dance was over to finally ask her out. And she said yes, and he's not going to give up on that right away. And you could fire Mendoza if you want, but it's cosmetic at this point.
Yeah.
But that's the frustrating thing is I don't think there's going to be the seismic change that Met fans think is going to happen. I feel like we're going to go into next year and give it another kick at the can. Maybe some subtle changes here and there, but I don't think he's going to blow up his philosophy. These guys don't do that.
But what are they doing right now because of where they are when you consider they'll like you said it before, you'll win a couple of games and you get that kind of hope going of, hey, if they could just string a few together.
Good thing Don doesn't get that no matter what.
I guess not.
Well, with good reason, as it shows in the long run.
But think about it, though. If they aren't they that classic team? Like, what you want them to be is really bad. So it makes it easy. Because right now, when you look at the standings, as I'm trying to right now, just to get the latest update.
Don't do it.
No, but I'm saying, like, the reason that, like, why Stearns and why Cohen can stay defiant is they could just argue, well, there's still time.
Because baseball just stinks right now. I hate to put it that way, but for the Mets to be...
Well, they're 6 back.
What is it? 9 games under 500. 9 games under 500.
Yeah, but they're like the 7th worst team in baseball.
They're 6 games out of a playoff.
6 games out of a playoff spot. So that's, what is that?
That's
a good
fool's
month.
goal.
But
That's
yeah,
fool's
month,
goal.
though.
Because it's kind of insignificant. It doesn't say anything about whether or not they're actually a capable team. They're obviously a huge disappointment.
Right.
But that's my point.
Whether they're 6th out or not.
All right, so what I'm trying to ask is that when you get to a point, like this is where you need your owner now to understand the sport and say, how much longer do we play this game of, boy, if we can just get on a run, even if you were good enough to be the last wild card, then what?
Well,
then what are you?
Isn't that what I've been moaning and groaning about all season?
Like, is that what you're trying to do? Hey, at least we salvaged the season to make the wild card. I know we lost in the wild card, but hey, we had a good second half and we're going to build off that. No. You look at this roster and you recognize this was a mistake.
It's all just...
So why not correct it now rather than wait?
So earlier today, by the way, I'm sure you guys may have seen by now, Messi becomes the all-time World Cup goal leader. Passes Germany's close. You may remember from up until 2014. Messi gets to 18 overall in 28 matches. And, of course, Mbappe is sitting back there at 5. Mbappe just gorgeousness. They are getting so much from the big stars in this tournament.
Love it.
So Messi gets 2 today. Both were sick.
Yeah.
And now Mbappe gets the first goal for France. And he is now up to 15 total. He could end up, you never know, he can catch Messi in this tournament.
That's crazy.
Like, Messi's 3 goals ahead of him.
What's the difference in age?
Well, Mbappe's 27.
Oh, so
and
it's
Messi's
10 years.
getting near the end.
Isn't that 10 years?
Is Messi 34, 35?
I thought 37.
Mid-30s? Yeah, it could be 37.
Messi's not 37, 38?
I think Alan's right. So he's at some point Mbappe's passing him no matter what.
Well, what you're saying is these guys are Amazons. They're huge names.
They really are. And we are
38 years old.
All right,
this
so
Amazon.
Right. So they do have they do have a game tonight here in New York, and because we know in New York every block is a business and every minute counts.
Wow, you see what he did?
Amazon Hub Delivery lets you earn extra revenue from the business that you already run. So check this out. So you and your staff can deliver packages right in your neighborhood on a schedule that works for you. It's a smart way to keep your hustle going, bring in more revenue, but also bring in more visibility and stay connected to the community that you serve every day. Give you an example. Christine is the owner of All Breed Cat and Dog Grooming in Verona, New Jersey. Christine tells us she loves the flexibility of Amazon Hub Delivery because she takes grooming appointments in the morning, then delivers packages in the afternoon around her business's schedule. And getting started is easy. You need no delivery experience, no long-term contracts to sign, and best of all, no startup costs either. So if you're a New York local business and you're ready to make your next move, visit Amazon.com/Hub Delivery. That's Amazon.com/HUB Delivery.
Dave in Smithtown. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Dave?
Hey, guys. How are you? You know, the Knicks run was great. It was a lot of fun. Something, obviously, I'd never seen because I'm only 47. But, I was thinking about teams that haven't won in a while. Like, the Detroit Red Wings, 25 straight years ago in the playoffs. Now they have the longest drought in hockey, 10 years. The Chicago Bulls, they've done nothing without Michael Jordan. I mean, the Maple Leafs have been, 57 years in the Maple Leafs. 1967 was their last.
Long enough. 67, 59 years.
Yeah, I've always been fascinated by droughts. But anyway, Don, I got a question for you. Now, you're the Devils announcer, and you do a great job. I mean, I'm a Ranger fan, and I do watch the Devils because I like hearing you call the games. But, I just was curious about something. If you're the Devils, Islanders, or Nets, and the owners of those teams, so obviously the Nets winning would never be big because the Nets winning.
Oh, no.
But even in L.A. with, the Clippers and the Ducks, I mean, I was wondering, if I were to buy the Islanders, if I was the owner, I mean, why would I want to be in this town where we never get talked about? We're always the second fiddle. I mean, wouldn't you rather be someplace like Houston or Quebec where you're the main attraction? I just wanted your opinion on that.
Well, what's interesting
It's a great question.
This is why I thought it was important that the Nets stay in New Jersey. I get beat up on this on social media all the time. The Devils at least have an identity. We're in New Jersey. All right, we don't get covered by the New York team, but we're in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
We represent New Jersey, and I think that's important. And it's been really, I'm not just saying it because I work there now with MSG, but there's a vibe in that building that you didn't have at the Meadowlands.
The Rock has definitely an atmosphere, and when I watch those games, that place gets filled. Like, you get a lot of people going to games. That tells you a lot about the support they get.
Yeah, and they're just feeding into what they are. They're New Jersey's team. Yeah. They're not New York's team. And the Islanders have Long Island.
Yes.
So because of their history, they were able to win over a bunch of fans with the 5 straight Stanley Cup appearances and the 19 straight series wins. But Long Island, it's New York, it's the tri-state, but there's an identity to be from Long Island.
Agree.
And the Nets thought they'd have that in Brooklyn. And listen, they don't draw poorly, and they're making it work, not with wins and losses, but they've created a bit of a fan base there. But they're right in the hub of it. I really felt for Net fans because I was never a huge fan, but I always supported the Nets when they were in New Jersey because I'm a New Jersey guy.
Mm-hmm.
But they were having watch parties in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn.
So
imagine if they were asking Barclays, "Hey, can we do a watch party?"
I'm sure if it wasn't awkward, I'm sure that would have made sense, right?
It honestly would have.
And they probably would have put 18,000 people in the building. Guaranteed. So at least in New Jersey, I know it's 7 miles from Madison Square Garden to Newark. I make the drive when I go to Devils practice. It's right down the street, but there's that line of demarcation.
It's called the Hudson River.
So you do have that identity. I understand what he's saying. Devils or the Islanders can move to Houston. There were rumors that the Islanders were going to move to Kansas City. It almost looked like it was a done deal.
Yeah.
But I just think you're looking at it as, well, you're not getting talked about. But out on the island, you look at Newsday. Newsday will put the Islanders on the front page of their newspaper if they're doing well or something major happens.
Right.
Same thing in New Jersey with the Devils. There's something to that. Is it New York? No, but it's theirs.
Doesn't matter. It's still in the area, and there's still enough people to draw from. And I think that it is an interesting question. And
It was a good question.
I wonder, and again, in Nets ownership, heart of hearts, and I don't think Joe Tsai's ready to do anything this dramatic. But don't you think there's a party that's going, all right, we need to call this and see if exploring a move back to New Jersey would work for us in the way of, like you just said, just embrace the Jersey thing and put that era behind. There's no way they do it. But if there was ever a time.
Well, here's what I'll say. I don't have the analytics, but they probably do. What percentage of your season ticket holders are from the Brooklyn area, and how many of them are making the haul from New Jersey?
Great question.
If it's more than 50% still coming from New Jersey, it's got to be something to consider. But I don't know.
I don't think it is.
I don't know.
How many Jersey people feel abandoned by them? Because I have a friend of mine who says it all the time. Big Nets fan, and he's like it frustrates him because he's like it's too much of an effort to go to Brooklyn. I can't go to games. He used to go to games all the time.
Depends on where in New Jersey you're from. But if you're from North Jersey, where there's not a
North Jersey,
if there's not a great public transit, that's why the Devils moved out, because there wasn't public transportation. It's an embarrassment what the MetLife Stadium has, that one stop. If you're from Central Jersey, where you can hop on a bunch of different trains and And it's probably Brooklyn's a little bit better for you. But in North Jersey, when you're driving, good luck, man, right? I can see. Maybe you stayed for that fan. Maybe you're still watching and listening to the games, but are you going? Like that, I don't know. Whenever I bring this up, I get Brooklyn fans, like Brooklyn that are from Brooklyn, they kill me. You don't know what you're talking about. They didn't draw in New Jersey. We draw here. The last time I looked it up, I thought the attendance was pretty similar, and I thought,
good question.
I thought the identity was better. Now I'm a Jersey guy, so I'm biased. I'm being honest. I believe that move was made. Brooklyn's hipper than New Jersey.
Oh, that was all Jay-Z.
That's probably why.
No, that was all
But
Jay-Z.
is it sustainable? Do the people of Brooklyn care about the Nets? Remember the whole plant your flag? I remember doing shows with you in the summer.
We had
plant
fun
your
with that.
flag.
Yeah.
I just think it's a Knicks town so embedded. At least in New Jersey, there's a little bit more of an identity.
Don't you think this would, even this year, then would maybe, if this were ever to be a conversation, wouldn't this kind of help be what pushes it?
I don't know. I could be dead wrong on this because, again, I don't know the analytics. For all I know, 90% of their season ticket holders are from Bushwick, and they just go. I don't know.
I bet it's a high number. I bet 70% are from Brooklyn at this point. But still, it's just, guys, the Knicks fans took back people they'd lost to Brooklyn this year. That's how it works. That's what championships do.
And the one thing you had, Peter, was, hey, well, at least we've been to the NBA Finals more recently than you, right? But now that they've won the title, you know how many more fans the Knicks are going to win over? If you were like, I'm a Net fan and a Knick fan, but I support the Nets because I'm from Brooklyn, they're gone. The Michael Rappaports are gone, right? They're now all in on the Knicks, right? You might have had Spike Lee go to attend a few games. Goodbye.
For fun. It was a dead year. What are you going to do? Why not go?
They're all gone now. So anybody sitting on the fence, they're all on the Knicks side
how about this? How about this? The kids who you would see at the mall wearing Curry jerseys. They're all wearing Brunson jerseys now.
Right. That's it.
That's how it works.
That's what you're going to love.
It's all the kids you were losing. Oh, we were Kobe fans. We're Curry fans. We're Durant fans. They're now all Brunson and ANUNOBY fans.
Yeah,
it's totally different.
It is pretty interesting. 1-800-919-3776. That number's for a little bit later on. But the great Linda Cohn's going to join us. She announced her retirement today, effective at the end of the month. She is going to be doing her last Sports Center on Friday. She'll be joining us next. Hahn and Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
Tickets are on sale now at fanaticsfest.com as Fanatics Fest NYC returns to the Javits Center on Thursday, July 16th through the 19th. The world's #1 sports fan festival puts you where sports, collecting, culture, and entertainment collide. See stars like Tom Brady, Aaron Judge, Jalen Brunson, and hundreds more, including live panels and podcasts, exclusive merch, and Fanatics games with $2 million in prizes. Go to fanaticsfest.com to get your tickets today.
This is Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York.
It's happening, Knicks fans. It's been 53 years. The New York Knicks are NBA champions.
16-3, beat their opponents by the most in NBA history in point differential, and now you are champions of the NBA.
Only few people that have that. When the moment gets tight, give it to me. I won't panic. And Brunson's that guy.
Bart Scott, Chris Carlin. Weekdays at 10 a.m. on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
D'Agostino Law Bite Back. This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, and I know how a serious accident can change your life just like that.
I'm Jenna D'Agostino, and I understand that with pain comes medical bills and time out of work. Let us get you justice.
This is John Ryan, the closer. For over 35 years, our family has been getting accident victims every dollar they deserve.
I started this firm for the injured so they can bite back against the insurance companies.
Our legacy is to get you justice. Bite back.
To get you paid. Bite back.
At D'Agostino & Associates, bite back means fight back. When you're hurt and they blame you, we bite back and get you every dollar you deserve. We have offices throughout New York and New Jersey, so call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. 1-800-248-3222. I've been there, and I'll be there for you.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it.
The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
New York basketball is back on top. Champions of the world. When you watch a team play that well, you can tell. It starts with how they're built. Depth, leadership, execution, doing the little things right. That's exactly how TRAE Construction builds too. Whether it's medical, industrial, multifamily, or commercial, TRAE brings the right team and the right plan to every project across the TRAE area. So if you're looking for a construction partner for your next project, don't overthink the pick. Choose TRAE Construction. Every phase, every detail done right. Visit TRAEConBuilds.com.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks, guys. We've got this FIFA World Cup match tonight at New York, New Jersey Stadium, and 42nd Street shut down. Only buses and shuttles getting through pretty much from the east to west side. That's not going to pick up till about 7 o'clock. New York Penn Station. If you plan on using a New Jersey Transit train, you need a World Cup ticket. Otherwise, you got to take the path and connect in Hoboken. That ends at 7 as well. Heading over to the outbound, George, all of your approaches are jammed. Not even the Henry Hudson going to help you out. Inbound Georgia, about 5 to 10 for the upper deck. Outbound Lincoln Arena, about 45 minutes. Outbound Holland, close to an hour. Mets game still a go tonight over at Citi Field. Stop and go at the Whitestone Bridge heading into Queens from the Bronx side. This report is sponsored by America 250. To celebrate America's 250th anniversary, they're coming together coast to coast. Get involved with live events and performances. Visit America250.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This Father's Day, do more with Dad and spend less with low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Get him fired up with a new grill and accessories, like the Next Grill 5-burner for just $299, so you can spend more time together while he becomes the grill master he was always meant to be. Or build memories with savings on top brand power tools so you can tackle projects side by side. Gift more and do more together this Father's Day with help from the Home Depot. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
Got a little emotional today. I hop on social media and I see that Linda Cohn's announced her retirement. It's effective on June 30th. She is going to do her last Sports Centers coming up on Friday. And the last one will be, I believe, at 11 o'clock. Her first one will be at 6 on Friday. And I've always talked about the disconnect between Bristol and New York. It's been something that's going on 25 years that I've been working here. But the two people that were always up at Bristol that cared about the success of ESPN New York were Mike Greenberg and our next guest, and that's called, of course, Linda Cohn, and she joins us here on Hahn and Rosenberg. Linda, how are you?
Oh, great to be with you, Don, and thank you for those kind words. Yeah, it's been a crazy day retiring from ESPN. Exciting opportunities ahead for me, but I'm just it's been, I'm like teary-eyed. I didn't know, you never know how you're going to react. But the reaction, especially from young people, especially young women who were little girls, they're all telling me their stories that when they saw me on SportsCenter in kindergarten and first grade, before they went to school, the re-airs, and it made them think anything was possible. And Don, that's when I get the most emotional about it.
Linda, again, we share the Long Island connection. I'm very big on all that stuff of all of us who have found our way through the crazy 80s of Long Island and found our way out of it. But I just, because you just talk about it and the inspiration you are to a lot of young women who've watched you, I love origin stories. So, Newfield High School, kid. I mean, WALK. Yeah. like how did it begin for you? How did your career start, and what did you have to do to get to the place you got right now?
Yeah, no, thanks for asking that. I mean, I won't it can go on and on. I actually wrote a funny look at my journey back in '09 in a book called Conehead, a no holds barred account of breaking into the boys club, where I talked about this. But yeah, Long Island, I'll always remember my roots, love my roots. I'm wearing my Knicks. By the way, I'm wearing my Knicks sweatshirt. I can't take it off.
There
I'm
you
just
go.
still on a freaking high, but as we all are. But even though I live in LA now, but trust me, it was still just as exciting. But yeah, I always had a backup plan if they weren't going to allow or a woman to talk sports, and it's just so natural for me because thanks to my dad, I grew up such a New York sports fan. I just love the New York teams, and it became in my DNA. When I went to the Smith Haven Mall as a 12-year-old to see Walt Frazier and Dave DeBusschere and Willis Reed make appearances in Lake Grove, Long Island, and Walt Frazier looking at me and going, wow. And I'm like just this little girl. And that's when I fell in love with sports and the athlete and what they do. And so, yeah, I mean, I volunteered at Walk Radio. I was doing news, but I said, you know what? I'll cover the Islanders for free if you just pay for my gas. And that was during their run. And that led to me meeting the late, great Ed Ingles, sports director for WCBS for so many decades. He was one of my mentors. He helped me. I mean, he just kept I always tell young people, you got to make your own breaks. I know both of you guys say that as well, probably. And I always had some kind of backup plan, but I never gave up on the hopes of talking sports. And I think part of my longevity, guys, is just the fact that I connected with the fan, because I am a fan and I'll always be a fan, and I thought like a fan, and they saw my passion and they saw my emotion, just like you guys. I mean, I don't have Don is a perfect example of that. Don is so great, makes me laugh all the time with his emotion and passion. You guys are the same. So I think that's a big reason for my longevity. I always had a connection with the fan.
I love that you shouted out the Smith Haven Mall. I grew up in Ronkonkoma. Right, so I wasn't far from where you were in Selden. So it's just like the Smith Haven Mall was the epicenter of everything back then. So
Yes.
I love that you shouted that out.
Yes. So I don't even know if it's still there. Is it still there?
No, it is. It is. Gone through some transformations, but it still is there.
So, Linda, when did you get comfortable with the idea that this passion and being a fan could turn into your forever career? When did you start to accept that?
Well, they didn't fire me, although they came close to firing me from ESPN 2 years in. My big break was going to Seattle. I was hired there. I knew I couldn't be one of those people, whether it was being a woman or whatever the reason. I'm not going to look back and say whatever. I'm not bitter about anything. But I knew I had to get out of New York. I was doing radio 7 days a week, doing sports updates on WCBS and on The Fan and things like that, and then I realized, you know what, I want to try this TV gig. And a year after showing all my VHS, right, back in the day, KIRO in Seattle gave me my biggest break. And I was able to be a sports reporter, covered the Mariners, the Sonics, the Seahawks, all that. I was able to hone my skills as a TV personality, TV reporter, and that's when ESPN spotted me. So 2 years into the ESPN run, though, I was so preoccupied of not upsetting the apple cart, so to speak. I'm like I started this YouTube channel, which I'm planning to grow in leaps and bounds, but I was going to talk about, and when I did that Rich Eisen, that this was Sports Center, which it was fun to do. They had a library of my looks through the years, right? And if you notice early on, it was really conservative. Like, I didn't want to upset any apple cart, being a woman in a man's world. And my voice and everything was like, not robotic, but I don't know how to describe it. But I didn't feel like I was allowed to show off my fandom personality early on at ESPN. And the funny part and the irony is, 2 years into my gig at ESPN, I was called into the boss's office, and they literally were going to fire me. They said, because they said I didn't do anything wrong, but they said, the Linda we see around the newsroom, the Linda that has passion about sports is not coming out on TV as much as we'd like. And I'm like, well, I feel like, why didn't you tell me? It was like a gut punch, really. And then instead of like moaning and groaning and being sad about it, I said, all right, you got it. I'm going to let out my fan personality. And little by little, obviously I wasn't fired. And that was just 2 years into my gig at ESPN. But it all worked out. It's just funny how the journey is, right? For all of us.
It was the wake-up call you needed, right? Like you needed to realize that all right, I don't have to worry about how I'm acting. I can go ahead and be myself and my personality. Your passion clearly is hockey. What brought you to that? What made you fall in love with the Rangers?
Yeah, I love hockey because as a 14-year-old, I started playing ice hockey. I was a goalie. I played with the boys. Started out playing with 8-year-old boys because they didn't let 14-year-old girls play with 14-year-old boys. I ended up making my high school team as a senior in Newfield High School boys team. And then I played hockey at Oswego State all 4 years. They had a women's hockey team ahead of their time. It was a club. So that's where my love for hockey and being a goalie, I mean, it really prepared me for what I faced in this business, being a woman in a man's world. You know, I again, more irony, being a goalie, you have that mask. When I was playing with young boys playing hockey and I was on their team and moms would be like, what is she doing there? Like I had to block out the noise, right? And that's what I learned, to block out the noise. And I thank my, young hockey career for doing that. And it really prepared me for what I had to face in even the early days of ESPN. People in all certain parts of the country did not, let's put it this way, they frowned upon a woman giving them their sports. They didn't understand it, that a woman could do that and know that stuff. So I do love hockey. That's where it comes from. It'll always be in my blood. Yeah, and I'm really proud of that because the players, the times that I did get to interview decades ago, players now, they grew up with me and they knew I helped keep hockey alive when ESPN did not have the contract they have now, and that's very satisfying. But also, I do love the NFL. I love my football giants.
Yeah.
So those are my two, I won't bring up the Mets right now, but they'll always have a place in my heart. And of course, the Knicks, forever and ever.
That's amazing that you're that passionate about all four major sports. We're talking to Linda Cohen, announced her retirement effective at the end of the month. She'll do her last Sports Centers coming up on Friday. And I was telling the story earlier, Linda, that your love for the Rangers had no bounds when they were making their run in 14 and the conference final in 15.
Yeah.
You were doing pre and post on the radio. I was telling them how I'm doing a game. And you're filling in for me. I'm like, and believe me, you didn't do it for the money. You did it just because you wanted to be close to the team, and that was amazing.
Oh, God, Don, I'm so glad you brought that up. And I'm sorry I didn't ask about the Ranger love. My classic story from that, first of all, didn't do it for the money. Schlepped 2 hours to go to MSG, by the way, from where I lived in Connecticut, back and forth. That's a love for a team. And you had to keep it all together. But my classic story was, 2014, Don remembers this, the Rangers, shockingly, thanks to Henrik Lundqvist, got all the way to a Stanley Cup final. And my brother and I, we went to LA for Game 5. And I wasn't even scheduled to work pre and post game or any part of our broadcast, but I was there as a fan and I was able to, and I was there, but I sat in the press area. Usually I frown upon that, but I wanted to be in that building. It was that much love. And then, of course, I was asked to do a post game of watching the LA Kings carry around the Stanley Cup and basically being a psychiatrist and a therapist for all the fans that called in watching the Rangers lose in 5. But it was therapy for me, too. Don knows that. I mean, I needed that. It was just really tough to take. And funny asterisk to that story, when the post game was over, I went downstairs to meet my brother. We ran into former Ranger Derek Brassard, who seemed to be handling it okay and was happy we were there. And then we went back to our hotel, and there was Chris Kreider in the lobby, right in front of the hotel, the JW Marriott, right near what then was Staples Center. And he both gave us hugs because it was very sad.
But this is how big a fan she is. I happen to be doing a game in Vancouver, and she talked about being in Seattle, and John Shorthouse is the television announcer, always asks me when I see him, how's Linda doing?
Yeah.
Because you just, out of road, just decided, I'm going to go to Vancouver, catch a game, and she didn't want to sit with the press, so she sat with me and Dave in the gondola, and I got to do a whole game with Linda to my left. But that's the passion that I think people are going to miss, Linda, and we really hope to keep in touch with all the other things that you're going to be doing, because I think that's why people gravitated to you, because they knew first and foremost you were a fan that made you knowledgeable. You lived and died with all of the teams that you cared about, and you were such an important part of my journey through ESPN that we were able to be 25 years it's going to be that I've been here. This radio station started September 3rd of 2001, and you've been a part of it for the entire time. And we're going to miss you on TV, but hopefully we'll be able to stay in touch. She actually played in a Mark Sasso softball event for us. She actually came to Jersey and played.
How was she, though, as a player?
You played as many games as Alan Hahn's played at the Mark Sasso softball.
There you go. Hey. See that? I show up.
That's right. That's right.
Well, the invitation's August 22nd if you're around. I doubt it. But, you just
never know.
Keep it filed away just in case you happen to be in the air.
No, you never know.
That's not a no, Don. It's not a no.
It's not. And very quickly, no, you guys, Don, you know how I feel about you. I adore you. I think you're amazing at what you do. Speaking of passion, I love this show. I love what you guys have done. And great things are happening. Stay tuned to my socials. You'll find out soon enough at Linda Cohn and at Linda Cohn Sports on YouTube. There'll be announcements in the next few weeks after the holiday. But thanks so much for having me.
Of course.
Thank you for everything, just being a part of all of our collective sports fan lives over these years, Linda.
Great stuff. Thank you for saying that. That's so sweet. It does mean a lot. And I just want to thank all your viewers and listeners for their support over the years. And it's always about New York first and foremost.
Oh, thank you so much, Linda. Good luck. Stay in touch.
Okay, definitely.
That is the great Linda Cohn. People sense that. I think that's unfortunately the stereotype sometimes. Well, she's a woman. How deep can she be into sports? How much can she really love teams? And she destroyed that stereotype. Not just on the air. Her work speaks for itself. I remember being at an Eli Manning event after he won his first Super Bowl. We had one of those Legends dinners, and she came. She came to the dinner, and Eli was making fun of her. I guess they were exchanging numbers or something, and she was making fun that she had the Ranger logo on her phone, not the Giant logo. But if there was a way to put all four, it's so rare. Andrew Gunling's like this, Peter, that is passionate about all four major sports, like have a team. Usually,
equally.
Yeah, and for her to love the Knicks, Rangers, Giants, and Rangers in that
Mets.
way.
Yeah.
Oh, Mets, too. Yeah. I have a feeling, though, she might be a little bit more into the Rangers. It just felt like that because she had played hockey.
She was so passionate about hockey.
And that came across on the air. So she's a legend.
So I'm going to make sure that Callie sees this interview and listens, because that's the fact of growing up, when she grew up on Long Island, having to play with boys. Trust me, from watching even just my daughter doing it right now, that is not easy to do. And back then even, when you knew you were probably getting side eyes and everything from parents, give her a lot of credit for how mentally tough she had to be.
All right, 1-800-919-3776. Last call, crew, because it's 6 o'clock at CNN, and then it's Mets baseball. They do expect to play tonight, so if you're heading over to Citi Field, they do believe there'll be a window to play.
All right.
God bless ESPN New York.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
I've waited a lifetime for this.
It's happening, Knicks fans. It's happening.
I'm now living the dream.
And a team that will live forever. Next stop, the Canyon of Heroes. The New York Knicks are NBA champions.
Champions.
DiPietro and Rothenberg. Morning 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
The World's Game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2-up early payouts so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pregame, straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you'll instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals, regardless of the final outcome of the match. Make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age to wager and physically present in New York only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. When care matters most, experience matters more. The Allure Group is redefining rehabilitation and long-term care across New York with 6 convenient locations. Their expert clinicians create personalized care plans to help you recover, rebuild, and get back to what matters most. From short-term rehab to long-term care, Allure is committed to comfort, dignity, and results. To learn more, visit allurecare.com. The Allure Group, where care meets compassion.
When I need a ride I can actually count on, I call Broadway Elite Limousine. It's who I use, and yeah, I'm not just partnering with anyone for my rides, because whether it's a night out, a trip to the airport, or a corporate event, or even getting a group where they need to go, Broadway Elite makes it easy for me, and they can do the same for you. Clean vehicles, professional drivers, and they're always buttoned up. That's why I trust Broadway Elite Limousine. Book your next ride at BroadwayElite.com. Broadway Elite Limousine. Arrive like a pro.
There are a million reasons to love New York. Making your budget stretch isn't one of them. According to an independent study, Amazon prices average 14% lower than other retailers. Get food, fashion, furniture, and more shipped straight to your building. That's how Prime members have saved over $2 billion on grocery and household items. Learn more at aboutamazon.com.
Skechers elite athlete OG ANUNOBY has been making history on the basketball court.
ANUNOBY tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
If Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea was your best friend, it would be the kind of friend that starts an impromptu dance party in the supermarket aisle that turns into an all-day pool party rager at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea turns any day into a legendary adventure. It's smooth and refreshing real iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
The ESPN New York Beach Bash is back. Thursday, July 2nd at Bar A in Lake Como, New Jersey. Head down to the Jersey Shore and join the Michael K. Show and Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live starting at 1 p.m. Plus, there'll be appearances from DiPietro and Rothenberg, as well as Bart and Carlin. We'll have plenty of giveaways for fans in attendance, a soccer watch party, and the chance to test your skills by trying to kick a soccer goal past Rick DiPietro.
Save DiPietro!
Plus music from Surfing for Daisy. It's all brought to you by Spike Dave, Boost Mobile, Miller Lite, Fanatics Fest NYC, and New Jersey Lottery. You must be at least 21 years of age to enter.
Soccer fans join Bart Scott and Chris Carlin on Thursday, June 25th for a watch party presented by Rothenberg Pilsner. Watch the match between Germany and Ecuador at the Hoboken Beer Garden in Hoboken, New Jersey, starting at 4 p.m. Enjoy Pilsner perfection since 1872 with the first German Pilsner. Come out, grab a cold Rothenberger, and join the energy with ESPN New York. That's Bart Scott and Chris Carlin live at the Hoboken Beer Garden this Thursday, June 25th, brought to you by Rothenberger Pilsner. 1-800-919-3776. Let's get back to the busy phones, and let's talk to Dove in Boston. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Dove?
Well, hello, gentlemen. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. It was wonderful to see you guys last week. I came down from Boston and had a chance to spend some time with you at Stout. Shout out to them for putting on a great event.
Really good.
And also, as a side note, thank you guys for doing that because, you know, myself included, there were a ton of people who got there really early and still didn't get into the parade, you know, and having your event to go to celebrate and be a part of it it was literally like my wife was comforting me from like losing a baseball game. She was like, "Do you want to go see DHR?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." So thank you guys. It was wonderful. As far as the Knicks, man, I know right now we're getting into the Mitchell Robinsons and we're getting into free agency and where is Giannis going and all of this stuff. But like, I hope that we can still keep the magic and keep the memory of how pure and special this is. Like, you know, I'm back in Boston. I'm in Starbucks yesterday. I see a guy in a Knicks hat. We lock eyes across the Starbucks. Immediately, don't know each other, run up to each other, hug each other, dap each other up.
Full hug.
You know, Nixon. No, full hug. Nixon 5. Our wives are talking. You know, and we're just reliving the memories and reliving the moments. And like, you know, we left, and my wife smiled, and she looked at me, and she said, "When does this end?" And I looked at her, and I said, "It never will. You're never going to be able to take this away, and we'll always be able to say 26 Knicks." And I just, as we get into the minutia and the new season and the new expectations, I just hope that we can kind of keep that spark and keep that magic in our hearts forever, man. 'Cause it's so special.
It is. Unfortunately, it does fade over time like anything else, right? It'll go from a spark to wanting and longing for it to happen again. And we can argue, is it going to be at the All-Star break next year? Is it going to be 10 years from now? But at some point, you know, it's going to be, all right, I want another one. I want that feeling again. You'll never forget it. It'll always be a part of forever for you. But there will be a point, guys, where it just gets back to normal. Like, hey, let's get going here.
I think Nixon 5 will be a rally cry all the time now. People just yell it out.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
That'll be that for fun. But, yeah, I think the first sign of frustration, the first sign of something like where it just, this doesn't look right, you know how it is. And then you just start to grumble. And the next thing you know, then you'll be full-on pissed off. I mean, that's just how fans are.
Just human
But
nature.
I don't think it ever takes away from this feeling.
No.
Like, this feeling will always
Both
be
things
there.
can be true.
But it will fade.
You know, after a bad loss next year, you'll think about the run, and it'll make you feel better. You'll get over it.
Yeah.
But, you know, at some point, you know, hopefully they don't have to go another 53 years without a championship. But at some point, it'll be real. Like, the odds are, believe it or not, that Brown will get fired. You know, we all would love the story of the guy that like Don Shula gets to leave on his own terms, but a lot of times that's what happens. You go a couple of years, bad season, hey, we're going to make a change. The reality just comes back, but this will be a part of forever. So both, I think, things can be true. Jose in Connecticut, you're on ESPN New York.
Hey, what's up, guys, man? Listen, like, it's crazy. Talk about all the stick and apron talk. It just feels weird. I was telling the screener, like, it's weird how we were always the hunters. Like, now people are now going to need to try to find the roster to beat us. You know what I'm saying? And, like even with Boston, like, do you know this? Like, Windhurst even said the move with Giannis is like, we might not be as good as the Knicks. We got to do something. And with that, I got two things. A question for Allen, too. But the first thing is, they better, you know, they're going to have to win that first year, because after that first year, Giannis and Tatum are going to be on like $140 million in the cap. So it's not going to be that easy for them either. So not everybody could be as crafty as Leon. And my question for Allen is, my assumption is one of the ways to beat the Knicks, people are going to try to take Mr. Robinson on free agency. So what do you think, if you had to put a percentage on it, is that he's going to come back? Because I know it's not going to be easy to bring him back, because everybody's going to want him, not just to get him, but also take him away from the Knicks, make us worse.
Yeah, I think you have till June 30th. The team can negotiate an extension with him and figure out if they can do something strategically that would allow him to be able to be re-signed without creating an issue with that second apron. And he would have to want it and agree to it. And if you're representing him, I mean, the smart thing to do is say, let's see, the Lakers really want to have a center, right? What can they do? How much can they offer? What is their situation? And then some other teams. I mean, New Orleans is where he's from. And if there's a team that desperately needs a center like him, it's them. So I do think there's some things to think about for him. Is this his opportunity right now to get the bag? Because we know that with the foot, his injury history, how delicate they have to be with him. They managed him all year, you remember. He doesn't play more than 20 minutes a night. So some team might give him a ton of money knowing that he can't play a lot. But the Knicks value, they already know what he is. And I think he already knows what his role is here and how things will go. So it really is up to him. And whether he just wants to say, hey, this is my chance at the lottery, I got to take it. Or if he's like, you know what, I'm happy here. And I just want to be part of this. And he stays and works out an extension before he gets the free agency. We'll see.
ENN is next.
Oh, yeah.
Don Hahn and Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Skechers elite athlete OG ANUNOBY has been making history on the basketball court.
ANUNOBY tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
The 2026 U.S. Open Tennis Championships are back, where the world's greatest city meets the world's greatest tennis players. Fan Week begins August 23rd. Experience the Mixed Doubles Championship on the 25th and 26th. And the U.S. Open Singles Championship starts Sunday, August 30th. All tickets on sale now at usopen.org. The U.S. Open, spectacular awaits.
Summer's here. People are outside walking more, traveling, going to games, barbecues, the beach, just enjoying life. But if you have joint pain, sciatica, or back pain is still holding you back, you don't have to live like that. I'm Bart Scott, and Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain is the real deal. Ivy League trained, double board certified with non-surgical treatments that get real results. No cuts, no downtime, no pain medications, just a smart, targeted approach that gets you moving again. Same day or next day appointments are available. Go to SandwellPain.com. Don't let pain steal your summer.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. At Rings End, they're there to help realize your modern design visions. That's why they partner with Marvin. Engineered for big ideas, Marvin modern windows and doors deliver effortless elegance, expansive views, and industry-leading innovation, all in a modular system designed to meet the exacting principles of modern architecture. Experience Marvin Modern at a Rings End showroom today and create something stunning with them. Rings End is a certified Marvin installing retailer.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks a million, guys. I hope you have an amazing rest of the night. We've got the Mets home over at CITI Field and a problem spot in Queens. BQE Western leg down to one lane with flooding right before Northern Boulevard. That's making it a slow crawl at the Triborough Bridge heading into Queens. Your jam there on the Bronx and Manhattan legs. Grand Central eastbound keeps you packed heading over to the stadium. Just a little bit bunched up at the Whitestone Bridge moving across the Upper East River from the Bronx side. All of your approaches the outbound, George, pretty bad. Not even the Henry Hudson going to help you out. Cross Bronx westbound, just a long line of brake lights from the Bruckner on through. Inbound, George, no issues for both the upper and lower decks. Outbound, Lincoln already about 45 minutes. Outbound, Hahn 30 to 40. FIFA World Cup tonight at New York, New Jersey Stadium. Delays are easing on Route 3 westbound, heading into the Meadowlands. 120 still bumper to bumper, heading toward the stadium. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
When you tell someone what team you cheer for, do they apologize? Does your first childhood memory involve crying on a Jumbotron? Then you may be a fan of a BST or bad sports team. Luckily, when you bundle your home and auto insurance with Progressive, you're protected from things like fire damage caused by violently unplugging the TV. Or an accidental overhand left to the drywall. Visit Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Covered subject to policy terms. Not available in all states or situations.
It's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of New Jersey is offering buy one, get one 50% off and 0% APR for 24 months. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends June 30th, 2026.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station. This is an ENN Special Report. Now reporting...
The very handsome Jewish man, Peter Rosenberg.
We should talk some sports. Do what you want. It's ENN.
Hi. Hey. How you doing? Good. So good to see you.
Hey.
Welcome to ENN.
Ray-Ro.
You ever watch YouTube?
ENN tonight is brought to you by Fanatics Fest NYC. Fanatics Fest returns to the Javits Center July 16th to the 19th. See NBA champions Jalen Brunson, Kat, Josh, Mitchell Robinson, Jose Alvarado, and hundreds more at the world's largest sports fan festival. Tickets available now at fanaticsfest.com. By the way, price is out to see your New York Knicks. Start saving up right now.
Oh, boy.
I'll just say this. There are affordable Knicks to see and get a pic, and get an autograph and a photo.
Right, who would be in an affordable Knick?
An affordable Knick?
Yeah.
I'd say $140 for Landry Shamet.
Yeah.
How about $338 for a photo with Kat?
How about Tyler Murray?
Hart and Bridges, $283. Robinson and Alvarado, $169.
How about Monica McNutt?
This is for a photo.
This is for photos. Now, keep in mind, this is what the event
you
is.
think I can get $50?
Yeah.
25?
I actually do.
25.
I think you get 50.
50?
I think you could.
I think you do it for free because you're a good guy.
Well,
Not to say they're bad guys, but you're like if it got to the point where it's like $25 for just being a good guy, you'd be a good guy.
No, well, hold on. It depends how many people are online.
Did it for an hour.
Yeah, well, no. By the way, it's longer than that.
Would I get a line?
Yeah, I think you get a line. I know you get a line.
For $50, you think I'd get a line at Fanatics Fest?
I do.
Fanatics Fest.
I do. Not the biggest line, but it's a championship year, and you were a part of it for people. So I think so.
And then
now,
there'd be 50+ women that would just want that picture with Allen for other reasons.
and they'd pay for it.
Yeah.
I didn't give you guys.
What's up, boo?
I didn't give you guys the Jalen Brunson price, as is being reported by Yahoo Sports.
$932.
Did he nail it?
You didn't? You looked somewhere?
No, I didn't see it.
$935.
Oh, that's close.
Well,
and I got it on the under.
How did you do that?
I just thought 1,000 would be
cheating?
just too easy. Well, if I was cheating, when I nail it.
Well, Donnie, it's actually 1,000, but he took less.
Oh, see, because he's a good guy.
You know what? That's Brunson. Good old Brunsy. You know he's always taking less. He said, you know what? I hear your 1,000. I knock off 65.
When was that call from?
When?
Yeah, with the Brunson.
It was. Is that from?
He hit the shot against Detroit last year.
Was it the Detroit winner?
So
where were they this year?
I'm sure they did the finals. We don't.
Oh, we don't have any calls.
What's going on?
The OG tip. We don't have.
Oh my God, it's a great call.
Now,
where's the Korean call?
That's Korea, right?
Yeah. Where's the call?
How do we not have the Korean call?
If we had the
on
first
OG
round
tip?
last year before the championship,
Jeez.
how do we not have like 20 options during this run?
It's a great point.
Doesn't make sense.
Let me say good evening to Don and Alan.
Now that new thing, a harmonica, which I had to hear all the way home.
Harmonica?
Harmonica.
Oh, harmonica.
And I'll tell you, that's Jalen finally getting close. She spent most of the day calling it.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Hanukkah.
That's close.
Okay.
She's right there. There's an Hanukkah sound. Am I right?
Yeah.
Harmonica.
Well, harmonicas, it's tough, right? Because it's not like they're popular.
Not exactly.
You
no.
know.
By the way,
not nobody in Beyonce's backup band
is busting out the harmonica. Well, no, I mean she had a country album, so you might have caught it one or two.
And I don't want my daughter walking around talking about a mouth organ.
Excuse me. And not only that, even
honestly, that didn't come to mind until you said
honestly,
that.
it's sick. But not beyond that. But hold on.
It's the first thing I thought of, like when she was
I just say from the standpoint of Don, from the standpoint of just wanting your daughter to be cool, just encourage her. Say, hey, honey, you don't have to go to school. Just don't. No, I don't mean that. I just mean don't be the girls like, hey guys, want to have a good time and pull out the harmonica. I don't know how it's playing socially. You know what I mean?
No,
we got to be careful.
We got to. Maybe we can bring it back.
By the way, I'm picturing like a cartoon now about Marco and Jalen. You got Jalen. She's pulling out the harmonica, like, "Who's up for a party, everyone?" And then Marco saunters over with his glasses on in the dark. He's got his bass. He's like, "Hey, everyone, pay attention when my sister plays the harmonica." All right, let me say good evening to Don. Whoop. That was Marco falling.
Whoop. You know what? I nailed it.
Good evening, Don.
He was trying to stuff it back down his throat, but he certainly laughed.
Good evening to Alan.
I'm estimating this was 5 million people.
A clean day?
Good evening to myself.
No, I didn't have a clean day.
Good evening to myself. Oh! Oh! Good evening to myself. He gave Orlovsky a couple inches. He's a tall guy, but that Lincoln was huge.
Was he?
I got to tweet out the picture of the Lincoln because I got two. I got Orlovsky and I got Portnoy. Right?
Portnoy?
Yeah.
Why Portnoy?
Somebody.
I think it was Anthony.
I said it. I thought it looked like Portnoy.
Yeah,
really?
Well, take a look.
I went Orlovsky.
I don't know who should be more offended, Lincoln or Portnoy. Good evening. Good evening to myself. A turkey.
What a great day for Peter.
Good evening to Dave in Smithtown.
Come on.
Turkey.
That David Smithtown laugh. That was very Pee Wee Herman.
It's I'll tell you what. This guy was meant to be a Lincoln impersonator.
A great date like this used to mean something.
Yeah, no.
Now it means nothing.
It means nothing. But he's somewhere between Orlovsky and Portnoy.
Yep.
He's not quite either of them.
No. And also, who's the actor? He was one of the robbers in the Home Alone movies. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, it's Stern. I can't think of his first name.
Okay.
He was the narrator.
Daniel Stern.
Daniel Stern, right.
Right, he's got a little of that.
By the way,
too.
Daniel Stern, graduate of Bethesda Chevy Chase High School.
Right. Second most famous.
And he was the narrator in Wonder Years.
You think I don't know that? I mean, this guy's one of these are.
I just happened to be looking at you at the time, but I was
trying
to reach more people than just you.
Right? No, of course. I'm sorry. I assumed everybody knew that, but I guess that fact that he went to my high school, I was very well aware of that. Who else did BCC have? Myself, the great Daniel Stern. The creator of The Wire went to BCC.
That's not nobody, although we can't think of his name.
I can't.
Should I watch
Google,
that?
Can someone Google and tell me
Is that like, because whenever
it's too
it
deep.
always gets mentioned along with Breaking Bad and
Wait,
Sopranos.
you've never seen?
I never saw.
No, you need to.
But do I need to at the level of that I needed to watch Breaking Bad?
Well, think about it this way. Because you're like this, you will be drawn in. I was drawn in. And it just became like an addiction.
How many seasons are we talking?
So now it's like 6.
Yeah, I didn't make it all the way to the end because the season started.
So now you're gonna have Don watching between commercials. Now I don't weigh in on The Wire because everyone I know talks about it as if it's Sopranos level, highest level TV show.
It's really good.
When it aired, I watched like one of the late seasons live, but I hadn't watched the previous seasons. I really enjoyed the late. It was like 4 or whatever. I really enjoyed it. Don't ask why I watched just randomly one.
Okay.
It was where I was in my life.
Mm-hmm.
In like 2017, when I tried to go do my real rewatch of it, and this is not popular, and I'm aware of that. When I watched season 1, I was not like what people prepared me for. I feel like they'd forgotten what season 1 actually felt like. Season 1 did not. I'm telling you. Wire fans, I'm not going to say don't come at me because you naturally will. Season 1 of The Wire, when I watched it in a rewatch way later, did not hit like the prestige TV you think it did. Season 1 hit like a cop show on network television to me. It didn't hit like where it eventually gets to. Does that make sense?
I know what you're saying. It did have a very Hill Street blues to it.
In
NYPD
season 1 at least.
feel.
I think it found its feel
I get
later.
What you're saying.
Maybe. Then everyone goes, well, by the way, season 2 is the docs. The docs season's okay. But so I
don't know. It's just, to me, it just had moments. It had lines. Like,
people love
lines from that thing.
People absolutely love it. And great actors came from it, of course.
Between heaven and here. Like just a million lines from that.
And so many great actors came from it.
Of course, yeah.
Idris Elba was huge on that show. Michael B. Jordan's big on that show.
Can't watch everything.
Still blows my mind that he has a British accent. Kills me.
Idris?
Yeah. Blows my mind.
Why does it blow your mind? Why does it kill you?
Because it's like the first time I met him, which is in that show, was like he was as authentic as you could come as far as somebody from that area, Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore.
B-more.
All right. Karl-Anthony Towns already jumped on Club Shay Shay. Would you be willing to take $100 million less?
Wait, did you check the date on that?
This is before? Sorry, it's just on my screen. I assume it's recent. Why is it
It's
old?
in the system.
I don't
know where it's from.
That's recent.
You don't think it's recent?
I don't believe so.
All right, well, this is from the Roommates Pod then. While we figure that out, let's go to the Roommates Pod. Stephen A. Smith apologizing for being wrong on the Knicks.
Love that.
I know Don will have thoughts.
I was beyond wrong. I apologize to this brother on national television. I'm apologizing to you. I'm apologizing to the entire Knicks organization. Let me be very, very clear. I have never been more happy to be wrong in my life. Let's be very, very clear. I came out of the womb a Knicks fan. I'm 58 years old. The last time the New York Knicks won a title before last Saturday, I was 4. I saw it all. I saw the Charles Smith play. I saw all the plays. I saw draft picks that wasn't. Think about this for a second. I'll apologize for being wrong, right? But let me be very clear. If it means another championship, I do it again.
Well, I don't understand how people can't wrap their mind around it. Why are you apologizing? You're wrong. That's the payback of having a take, is that you now have to live with being wrong. I got to apologize on top of it? How did I offend you? It's his job to give an opinion, and it was a wrong opinion. Now he's got to wear it. Got to apologize too. I don't understand.
Don't you think?
Am I wrong?
I think the answer should. Listen, Stephen A. is being performative, obviously, and leaning into the moment. But don't you think Stephen A. would, if he had said to them, "Hey guys, I'm so happy I was wrong. I was dead wrong.
Yeah.
No, I'm not apologizing. It was my opinion at the time. It's what I thought. You guys already proved me wrong, and I'm here to admit it. I'll take it all.
Yeah,
I was 1,000% wrong.
That's it. So
but there's no need for, like, it would be one thing if he insulted, like, did he insult Jalen Brunson?
I mean,
he's not a good player. Oh my God, this was a waste of money. I have no interest. If he had really gone beyond, as far as I remember, Stephen A. was like many people who thought he's not enough. But we've said this many times.
Right.
You weren't crazy to have thought that at that time. It was, and Knicks fans are lying if they say they didn't think the same thing. They did.
First of all, as we all know, because we deal with it every day, we did get the calls of Brunson shoots too much, needs to pass the ball. Remember all that stuff? The criticisms of him.
Of course, he's
right. Were you saying that in Game 5 when nobody else could make a shot but him? So I'm with you. Stephen A. says what he says. Now, he says it with a flair, of course. He says it sometimes in a way that sounds like that he's being confrontational, calling him out, but that's how he does it. And that's what he says.
No,
look, that was fun. He came on, he took the arrows, he was happy to do it, and he said, and if it leads to a championship, I'll do it again. Right? Like, that was the whole fun of that whole thing.
I understand that
yeah. So, again, that felt like a petty tour that they did, and they have every right to do it. But to get, like, to really take this stuff personal because someone was critical of a team or felt, I don't know if they have enough to win, when the team throughout the season at times gave you reason to think that way. So, come on.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I will admit I'm wrong.
I give Stephen A. all the credit in the world. He went there. He leaned into it. He had fun with it. Yeah, I'm wrong, and he's happy that he was wrong because the Knicks won a championship. So all that stuff was great entertainment, in my opinion, and not to be taken too serious.
But I do hear that a lot. When are you going to apologize for being wrong? Never. Ever.
But what about Becky Hammond? Does Becky Hammond?
No, she said, then I'm going to have to wear it, and she's wearing it. But what did she have to apologize for? She was paid to give an opinion.
Yeah.
She gave an opinion, and now the Knicks proved her wrong. That's it.
I love it.
And I get the players using it as motivation.
Yeah.
And if they want to take it personally for that motivation, go ahead. If they want to be mad, they want to hold it for the rest of their lives. That's their opinion. They can do what they want to do. But apologize. I'm sorry. Things just comes across as weak. Now, if he said, I don't think the Knicks will win because I think Brunson's a punk, well, then you know what? You offended it. You called him a name. You should apologize whether they win the championship or not for doing that. You made it personal. It's not personal to have an opinion. Not everybody can win. 29 other teams lost. And I'm sure many people, including Vegas, had somebody other than the Knicks winning.
Shams Charania on NBA Today with the latest on Giannis.
The Milwaukee Bucks will have a resolution on Giannis Antetokounmpo's future between now and Tuesday night's NBA draft. They are working through a decision. The Bucks are in serious conversations right now, deep talks with two of the finalists for Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. Those are also two of Giannis's preferred trade.
So, I don't need to hear the whole thing.
I'm good. I got my expert to my right.
We got breaking news here.
No.
Yeah.
Just as you got something real for me?
Yeah, this is real.
Oh, this happened.
This just happened. And this is for a lot of fans who have been calling today. We've got 2 calls already about Mo Diawara, right?
Yeah.
Young Luke sitting over there behind us asked us about Mo Diawara.
He was very curious about Diawara.
Shams Charania just reported that Mo Diawara is going to sign. He intends to sign a multi-year, $10+ million deal. This man was the 51st overall pick.
Yeah.
20 years old. No experience. None. Very little.
Yeah.
Raw talent.
Yep.
Multi-year, $10+ million deal to return to the Knicks.
There you go. I think he was averaging, about 8-9 minutes last year?
He didn't. Yeah,
a few points a game.
He had moments throughout the season but that's a very interesting thing that the Knicks just pulled off there. But now I want to see as the dominoes start.
It's $10 million total, correct?
It's.
You're saying a multi-year $10 million, so maybe like 3 years, $3 million a year, something like that. But a few million a year.
But they're going.
But a modest deal.
They're paying him. They're paying, and I'm the market. I was curious to see if anybody's going to throw crazy money at him. But I think if you're smart and you look at your future here, now I want to see what other pieces are affected by this. So that's a big news. It's big news for Knicks fans if Mo Diawara is a young talent that you're hoping they could build on and capitalize.
Yeah. And who is not here because of this?
Yeah, we shall see. But that's big news from Shams right there. Big news.
Well, thank you, Shams. Other NBA news, Michigan coach Dusty May is finalizing a deal to take the Mavericks head coaching job.
That's quite the name. Think that's his given name?
He led Michigan to the national title in 2026.
You can call him whatever you want. Just call him champ.
Now he'll have Cooper Flagg to coach on a team that people are expecting to start moving in the right direction finally. Obviously, the Mavericks parted ways with Jason Kidd after a rough season last year.
I'm curious to see if, because that's, again, a college coach, this has not worked that often. What happens with Kyrie? We know Kyrie's funny when it comes to coaches, right? People you'd prefer to play for. Cooper Flagg's young. Is they going to go young with that team? A lot to watch there in Dallas.
Trae Young intends to sign a 4-year, $212 million deal to stay with the Wizards.
$200 million for Trae Young.
Yep.
50, is that worth it?
50 a year.
Is that worth it to you guys?
I mean, listen,
no.
I don't know, but you look at
Trae Young, $200 million.
I know, but if you look at his stats and compare him to where the money is, how far?
I didn't ask you about stats.
How far off is he?
But they're trying so hard to just kind of get some talent and win because the Wizards have been bad for so long, right? So they've got to do something.
It feels like a lot for a guy I don't see as like being that
but
dude.
That's
but he had a
what it
moment
is.
of being that dude.
He had a moment.
You're not used to having players like this, and you don't want to lose players like this.
See, I don't know. I kind of feel like down there used to having players exactly like this. You know what I mean? The almost really the Bradley Beal, John Wall. Like they always have guys who are almost.
But we all were surprised when he accepted the deal to Washington. Like,
right,
Washington,
and then he didn't play at all.
And now he's going to stay
tank.
there. It's just like the image of, all right, he may not be that guy, but it's somebody that wants to be here. Maybe that kind of gets the ball rolling.
Yeah, it's a good point. Today was more spectacular stuff in the World Cup. Argentina beats Austria 2-0, 2 goals for Messi. Lionel Messi becomes the all-time leading World Cup
scorer.
scorer.
So is that 5 for him
with 18 goals? Yeah, I think it's a hat trick.
The hat trick in this, yeah.
I mean, it's
crazy, man.
It's insane stuff.
So what's the comp? The comp is who?
For Messi?
Yeah, like the greatness, and like it's just like LeBron, right?
I mean, I don't know, because we don't have the same thing with international. There's no comp to World Cup soccer. Like even,
but I'm just saying somebody that
they
is
dominate
still
the sport,
dominating at an advanced age.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'll say this. You know, the people he surpassed, like the original Ronaldo for Brazil, who's now in 3rd place. Like Ronaldo is still scoring goals in the World Cup in 2002. And he was a baby in 94. He was the star in 98. He was scoring goals still in 2002. I mean, there are guys who have gone on these runs, but still he wasn't 38. Messi's 38. And I mean, if you go back and look at the goals, there we of course can't play you the audio because Fox, we can't do anything.
No, he'd be dragged out by his armpit hair.
I'm surprised.
Before this segment was over.
I'm surprised I can even say the word World Cup without getting in trouble.
Now, I got a question. It's a legitimate question. Are you able to say that tonight's game is at MetLife?
I am.
But I'm watching like the news, and everybody's referring to it as New York, New Jersey Stadium. I think you're allowed, unless you're working the World Cup, you should be allowed to call it MetLife.
I would think so, but it's crazy.
How are they writing it in like stories in the area? Are you really calling it New York, New Jersey Stadium in your story? I'm not. I don't have to hold to your standard as your.
Yeah, but that's what I'm wondering. But correct me if I'm wrong. But watch the news. Whenever they report it, they'll call.
And you know
they'll
what?
Call it New York, New Jersey Stadium.
Well, guess what? I think technically, this is where it gets interesting. I think technically, if you call it MetLife Stadium right now, you're wrong.
You're wrong, yes.
It's not. That's the problem. It's not what it is at this moment.
Sports Business Journal says Monday night's World Cup game between Norway and Senegal at New York, New Jersey Stadium could be dampened and possibly delayed by heavy rain and thunderstorms.
It's not officially MetLife Stadium at this moment.
But the idea is
so weird.
It's insane.
So let's say I'm not really following. Now,
that seems easy to do.
Obviously. Well, wait a minute. I'm more than the average.
I'm having some fun. Go ahead.
Is that you want to let your audience know where the game is being played. Right. Now, it seems obvious to me because there's not that many football stadiums around.
Oh, but if you hadn't been paying super attention, you hear New York, New Jersey Stadium, you go, what the hell is that, the soccer stadium?
Yeah, they might be playing it over in Harrison where the Red Bulls
play. Is that a new stadium? I didn't hear about
it sounds stupid, but like
20,000.
You know, can I say Meadowlands? It's still the Meadowlands.
I know.
Right?
You could say, what if you said in Secaucus?
Or East Rutherford.
Or East Rutherford, sorry.
Way to put it, yeah. I just think that
I hear
this
you.
is
It's
where
ridiculous.
You kind of lose me a little bit.
Well, guess
they
what?
should bother Michael more than the stupid time.
Well, especially because it's FIFA's so Wyndham Clark wins the U.S. Open for the second time yesterday, despite being
he's a vandal,
aggressively booed by the fans at Shinnecock.
It was rough out there. I'd heard it. People got rowdy.
Why were they so anti-Clark? Well,
Claude. They actually
gosh darn it.
They actually went after Rory.
Where's the drop?
Like they've been going after everybody.
Claude,
I need to hear that.
You need
Please.
to find it before we leave.
Make it your moral imperative.
That'll do it for ENN. It's brought to you by Fanatics Fest NYC. Don't forget, I gave you the info. All the Knicks are there. Get your tickets on the ESPN New York app.
You enjoy throwing up every 5 minutes, Claude?
Clark.
I thought so.
Mets next on ESPN New York.
This is Bart and Carlin on